Live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center in Homestead, Florida. This is the 2021 Superkarts USA Winter Series on the EKN Radio Network. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And again, time to get things underway here from Homestead. Qualifying in the books, pre-finals in the books. It's time for our first round of main events. Of course, 4 rounds over the 2 weekends here in January and February, but it's about time to get things underway. Our live broadcast here on the EKN Radio Network brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Acceleration Kart Racing. And as always, great to be involved again in a partnership with Cooper Tires. Looking forward to get things underway here from AMR Homestead-Miami Motorplex. Fantastic facility. Drivers all set to go. And, of course, this program so heavily supported by IAMI and MG Tires, two of the great names in world motorsports and world karting. And we are excited to get things underway here as well. Beautiful weather, as I had said, throughout the morning. If those of you who may have tuned in with us, right now, about 66 degrees and sunny here in Homestead. We expect it to be a high of 70. That's what they're forecasting for tomorrow, so still opportunity to get some tremendous weather here as well. But yeah, folks, we're racing here right now. We're getting ready to go, and the drivers are rolling out here to begin this event. Micro Swift, the first category to get things underway, and DNJ Intermodal Services, the sponsor of our category. Starting on the pole position in Micro Swift in the number 62 machine, it's Keelan Harvick. On the outside, Isaac Malkit in the number 72. A couple of well-known names in the world of stock car racing here in the United States. Row number 2, Alessandro Truchot on the inside, Ethan Tovo on the outside. Row 3, we'll see Augustus Toniolo start alongside Gianmatteo Rosso. On row 4, Ashton Woon and Lucas Palacio. On row 5, it'll be Max Cristia and Carlos Molina. Row number 6, Rocco Simone and Benji Fernandez. On row number 7, Jackson Tovo alongside Marco Romero. On row 8, Hayden Wise will be on the inside and Jaime Garcia on the outside. Row number 9, Jackson Baldus and Maxwell Macha. Moving down now to row number 10, 19th and 20th, Bronson Kutas and Alexander Procuna, while row 11, Royce Vega and Phaethon Saratapin. Moving to row number 12 now, Sebastian Cortez and João Pereira. Row 13, Tristan Murphy and Martin Ramirez. Row 14, Nicolas Villa and Julian Rivera. And on the final row, Lillian Scarborough and Stephanie Miller. So green flag has flown and we are racing and underway. Drivers working their way through the infield loop of the racetrack for the first time. Sliding through over to turn number 7 and 8. And again, this event underway. Everybody sliding in here early. Good opening lap. The train setting up early. Couple of drivers looks like together potentially over in turn number 2. One of them continuing, a number of stragglers further back. So that indicates that we could have had some kind of an issue on the racetrack. But again, underway with our first race of what will be 8 main events here this afternoon. Here's one for you, folks. Those of you in the paddock being told there's a brown dog running loose with a green collar. If you have a brown dog with a green collar, that dog is running loose throughout the paddock. Please take care of that for us. Otherwise, we're racing. Truchot with the lead. Malkit into second. So Alessandro Truchot going to P1 early. Pole sitter Keelan Harvick sliding into the third spot. Everybody's settling in, though. Probably about 7 drivers, I think, in what you call essentially the lead group before the first gap back. We'll give them a couple laps here to settle in. We'll see what draft packs settle in. Set rolling up. 20-lap race for the drivers here in the Micro Swift category. And again, the first of 8 races on the docket for this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here on the EKN Radio Network. My name's Rob Howden. Beautiful day here in Homestead. Looking forward to providing coverage throughout the remainder of the weekend as well. Full day of competition again tomorrow, round number 2. Qualifying, pre-final, and final setting up with the same schedule as we had here today. 9:05, 10:25, and 1 o'clock the start times for each one of those rounds. But we are racing for the first time. Malkit now goes to the lead. Isaac Malkit to P1 in the Kart Republic. Truchot slotting into second. It's still Harvick in the third spot. I believe Ethan Tovo now into fourth. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the lead group. Little gap back to 7, 8, and 9. Then we've got our biggest gap between 9 and 10. Over a second between Marco Romero and Lucas Palacio. As often happens with these events, especially in micro and mini, big group develops. Let's say 10 karts up early, and then they start dropping them off in the tail of the field, right? Everybody just keeps dropping. You get settled in. As long as you're in that lead group, you're not getting dropped off the tail, you're okay. If you can hold off racing aggressively over the first at least half of the race, you're going to find yourself in a better spot. When they race aggressively and make a lot of dive bomb moves, stacks everybody up behind him and really kind of changes things. The strategy is, of course, something that the young drivers get to learn here in both micro and mini. And what they learn here, the racecraft we see in micro, is really when we see them have that when they go up to junior, up to senior, because they've developed it at the younger levels. Malkit leading just early in this run. Again, a 20-lapper. Long way to go again. Just settling in. And as we all know as well, when it comes to chassis setup, these karts are not going to be that great right now. The tire pressures aren't where they need to be. The longer you run, the more heat builds in the tires, those pressures are going to start coming up. And you want that kart to be absolutely perfect over the last 5 laps when your driver is ready to battle for a race win. Malkit pulling away a little bit here, though. Keelan Harvick's been able to get by Truchot, so move Harvick up into the second spot. Pre-final winner now goes to P2, but it's a pretty good lead here for Isaac Malkit. He'll work his way out of turn number 9, the second of the 2 hairpins here at Homestead. I'd said before in the KA100, I think it was the junior category, when Chase Hand was able to pull away in that pre-final, that it's hard to pull away in that category. Similarly hard to pull away here in micro, but if you can break that draft and have the guys behind you battle a little bit, there is an opportunity to be able to pull away. And Malkit right now out to a 1.172 lead over Alessandro Truchot. Truchot able to get back around Harvick, so Harvick slots into P3. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th right there. 8th and 9th not that far back. As I said, the big gap is between 9th back to 10th. It's actually Ashton Woon now in that 9th spot. Marco Romero went purple last time by with a 53.209. He was 9th a couple of laps ago, but Romero, obviously, with the kart starting to come together, he was able to get himself up to 7th. He's only a couple of tenths of a second behind Giammatteo Arasso now. But again, the big gap back from 9th to 10th, and then looks like from probably 12th back to 13th is another larger gap, I think. Leaders across the line once again. Malkit's lead, 1.2 seconds. Truchot turned his fast lap of 53.412, but still, Malkit was quicker. 1.2 seconds between first and second. Harvick now trying to reel in Truchot. And they got an opportunity. If Harvick's able to latch on to Truchot here, they could drop Tovo and Toniolo. Ethan Tovo now finishing running in 4th, and Augustus Toniolo running P5. 6th is Rosso, 7th Romero, 8th Cristia, 9th is Woon. Then again, that 3.4 second back to Palacio. He's essentially by himself now. Palacio's been able to pull away from Benya Fernandez, who has Maxwell Macha maybe a half a second back. Scroll down through the order a little bit. The biggest movers I'm seeing right now, Martin Ramirez up 9 positions from 26th to 17th now. Tristan Murphy started 25th, and he's up to 19th spot as well. 28 drivers at least got one lap in. Lillian Scarborough and Stephanie Miller did not take the green flag. In the lead group of the top 10 at least, Marco Romero, the driver on the move, up 8 spots. Marco started 14th position as we got a yellow flag flying. Driver off the racetrack on the exit of the first hairpin, turn number 8, off to driver's right into the barriers. So we had a driver who ended up in the barriers on the right. Another driver slowing as well, coming out of that corner. So 2 drivers involved there. I'm going to scroll down to find out who's falling down the order for us. That's the leader, Malkit. That is Isaac Malkit out of the race. So something happened with the leader. As I was looking through the order, trying to pick up guys that have moved up forward, the leader out of the race, Isaac Malkit. That is a heartbreak for Malkit. Looks like Carlos Molina and Jaime Garcia out as well. This is going to put the lead to Truchot. It was a 1.2 second lead for Malkit out of the race. It looks like there may have been contact coming out of the corner. I did not see what happened on the racetrack. Nonetheless, he is out. I don't know if it was a miscue when he drove off a little bit or what happened, but Malkit out of the race here. What a shame. That's going to shake things up, though, for sure. We'll have the crossed halfway flags next time by. Truchot, Harvick, Romero, Toniolo, Tovo, and Cristia. All part of that lead group. In fact, 7 drivers all told in the lead group. Make that 8. 8 drivers in the lead group right now, all the way back to Rousseau and Ashton Woon. So not quite sure yet what happened to Isaac Malkit. I didn't see it. Had the lead comfortably. Those are the mistakes you make often when you're early in your career as a young kid. Whether he got in, just had some issues coming through the corner, potentially something broke on the kart, you never know. I'll tell you one thing, we're in for some excitement. We are 3 or 4 wide going down to turn number 2. The lead 8 drivers here in Micro have someone lit a spark under them there with the opening now. Remember, they were kind of running for second with Malkit out to the lead as he was. Now they're going at it, hammer and tong. We got a new leader for sure. Trying to figure out, that might be Marco Romero. I think Romero's gone to the lead. He started 14th. He's now into the lead. Marco Romero to the P1 position. Driver on the move for sure. Keelan Harvick actually set the fast lap back on lap number 7, but it's been some pretty good lap times here for Marco Romero. He'll work his way out of the final couple of corners here to put lap number 11 in the books. Indeed, he is the leader. Truchot second, Harvick third, Tovo fourth, Cristia in 5th, 6th Toniolo, 7th is Rousseau, 8th is Woon, and then 3 seconds back is Benya Fernandez, who just went purple. Fast lap of the race from P9. 52.954 for Benya Fernandez. He's all by himself on the racetrack and in 9th. He's got to keep the head down because they're going to keep racing in front of him. You know how hard they're going to race up front here over the next 9 laps. Fernandez got to keep up on the wheel. He can keep this pace up. When they start racing up front, he could find himself potentially in the scrap. Romero's still the leader. They'll put lap 12 in the books with 8 to go when they come back around here. Yeah, Fernandez still a half a second faster than the leader, Romero. 53.593 for Romero last time by, a 53.064 for Fernandez. He's closed at 2.5 seconds. And they're going to keep racing up front. Harvick has a bit of trouble on the inside coming through the loop. The 5.6.7 combination, or 5.6 combination, still P3. Fernandez has got to keep that head down. At a half a second a lap, he's going to visually and physically feel how much closer he's getting every time. You know, as a driver, you're out there and you're on the mark. When you're coming out of a corner, you're following that guy who's the leader. And if you're getting closer, you can feel it every time, especially on the switchbacks here, the hairpins. You can tell where the leader is, and he knows he's getting closer and closer. Romero, Truchot, Harvick, Tovo, and Cristia, top 5. Here goes the move. Truchot's going to go to the lead to the inside, I believe, of Romero. Indeed, Truchot now the leader over in turn number 2 and 3. Every time they do that, that's bringing Fernandez back in. More fighting further back. Deeper in the field, that's, I believe, Toniolo starting to get aggressive. Toniolo goes by Max Christia. And there's another move by Romero. Move Harvick, I believe. Or is that? Yeah, it's Harvick, I think, up into second now. A lot of action here. Truchot's got a bit of a gap. He's been able to pull away with guys racing behind him. Truchot went by Romero, and then Harvick did it over in turn number 8. When you do that, that's the gap we talked about. It's now a 0.6 of a second lead for Truchot. Let's see if Harvick can reel him in. Fernandez goes purple again. He's 1.6 back, 52, and that's 1.6 behind Woon, 3.4 behind the leader, but he was quicker by 0.6 of a second than Truchot last time by. Fernandez is closing. Now that's all the way back in 9th, but we know what happens in these races. Truchot leading by 0.6 last time by, and Harvick settling now into P2. 5 laps to go when they get back to the stripe. Our first of 8 mains here today on the EKN Radio Network. The opening round of the Superkarts USA Winter Series here from AMR Homestead-Miami Motorplex, presented by MG Tires. .1 seconds separate your top 5. Again, Fernandez quicker than the leader by 0.2 of a second. He's only a second back of Ashton Woon. Fernandez might run out of laps. He needs these guys to continue battling. But Fernandez is 3.3 back now. Good run from 9th position, all by himself on the racetrack, but digging in. And he hasn't even got the draft yet. Wait till he gets a bit of the draft, too. And he's going to get that pretty soon. Ethan Tovo running in that 3rd position. Tovo on the Nitro kart, the driver out of Illinois. Getting himself into position to fight for it here. They've closed up a bit on Truchot, less than 0.6 of a second between 1st and 2nd. Yeah, Tovo's helping Keelan Harvick in a big way, make that 0.2 of a second. Top 5 actually separated by just a second. Another purple lap for Benya Fernandez. I'll tell you, regardless of what happens here today for Fernandez, he's going to have the confidence moving into tomorrow because great speed for Fernandez in that number 18. A lot of purple laps, the driver on that Parolin. Florida Pilot having a good run here. 4 laps to go, though. Fernandez closing up on Ashton Woon. Again, a 5-driver breakaway. They got a bit of a gap of, I want to say, about maybe 0.6 of a second from Toniolo back to Christia. So top 5 drivers about to fight things out amongst themselves. Toniolo falling off a little bit from P5. He's got to get up on it. Another purple lap for Fernandez. 0.4 quicker again than the leader. 2.5 back with 3 to go. Fernandez digging in. Right there on Ashton Woon. But we're stacking up. Who's going to take P1 to start off the Winter Series here in 2021? Harvick trying to set up Alessandro Truchot. Truchot on the Parolin, Harvick on the Nitro. Top 5 drivers still with a bit of a gap. As I said, almost 0.8 of a second that last time by. 2 laps to go. 2 laps remaining. 2 to go. If we can have the parents of Isaac Malkit to the medic, please. The parents of Isaac Malkit to the medic, please. Contact with a couple of drivers coming through the opening corner. I didn't quite see it. Drivers off. That might have been our leader, Truchot. We had some action in turn number 1. Again, Isaac Malkit, who had gone out in turn number 9, obviously offered into the barriers. I saw him holding his wrist a bit, so if the parents of Isaac Malkit can go to the medic, please, we'll get him taken care of. White flag's going to fly this time by. We've had a bit of a shakeup for sure up front. I think there was some contact coming into turn 1. Didn't quite see it as I was taking the note for Malkit's parents. Through now 10, 11, and 12. What's the final lap going to look like here as they get ready to come across the line? So 17 is the leader right now. That is Romero. Harvick second, Tovo third. Harvick's in a good spot to take it to him here right now. I believe the driver went off. Yeah, I think we did lose the leader down. Truchot fell to ninth. Not sure what the contact looked like, so no judgment here, but here goes the final run. There goes Harvick to the inside of turn number 5. Harvick takes over the lead in 5. Romero looking to try to get him back. It'll be a block move to the inside for sure. No pass in turn 8. Keelan Harvick, the leader out of turn 8. He'll keep to the bottom of the racetrack. Right behind him is Romero. Ready to clean it up is Ethan Tovo. Another move to the inside of turn 9. Full defense mode here for Keelan Harvick. Romero trying to find a way by. Harvick into turn number 10 and 11. Nothing new coming through 11 and 12. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Aaron Likens with a double checker here at start finish. The winner of the first round, Keelan Harvick. Harvick with the win by a 1/10 of a second over Marco Romero. Ethan Tovo finishes third. Max Christia in fourth spot. Gianmatteo Rosso in fifth. Ashton Woon sixth. Benya Fernandez in seventh. Augustus Toniolo eighth. Alessandro Truchot, after whatever happened in turn 1, ends up in the ninth spot. And Lucas Palacio rounding out the top 10. But good pass there for Keelan Harvick. Went for the move on the inside. They come out of 4, the right-hander, into the double left-handers of turns 5 and 6. Was able to put the nitro to the inside of Marco Romero. Harvick took the spot, was able to get a better run on the exit of the corner, and then was able to make a couple of good moves running the inside line in both 8 and turn number 9 to be able to hold off Romero, who in turn had Ethan Tovo behind him, trying to find a way by as well. But that'll be the first Superkarts USA victory for young Keelan Harvick as he scores the win here on Saturday, round 1 of the Winter Series. Harvick over Romero, Tovo, Christia, and Rosso. We are underway with the main events here from Homestead. Don't go anywhere. After this quick break here, we're going to come back with KA100 Junior, their main event here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. From coast to coast, Miami has become the two-cycle engine of choice for American karting. The air-cooled 60cc Swift engine for micro and mini drivers provides the foundation for future lifelong Miami drivers. The incredible Miami X30 power plant for Junior, Senior, and Masters has provided stability in our sport since 2014, and it remains one of the most dependable packages today. In between is the KA100, perfect for club programs, and it's quickly becoming the most competitive division at the national level. Miami is the spec two-cycle power plant for the SCUSA Winter Series and Pro Tour, as well as the Pro Kart Challenge, Los Angeles Karting Championship, KPX Karting Championships, and the International Kart Federation sanctioned programs throughout the western half of the U.S. Based in Temecula, California, Miami USA West is the official distribution center and provides dealers and customers with fast and friendly service for all your Miami products. For more information, head to MiamiUSAWest.com. Miami, the heart of kart. Looking for that extra edge? Comet Racing Engines is your answer. The engine service program from Comet Kart Sales has been winning from coast to coast at all levels and different forms of the sport. Lead engine builders Mark Harrison and Gary Lawson have decades of karting experience, providing racers the power to reach the top step of the podium. Comet Racing Engines continually perform track and dyno tests to provide their customers with the cutting edge in engine performance. Comet specializes in Yamaha KT100, Miami Swift, Miami X30, Miami Leopard, and Rock engines. Trackside and customer support are the cornerstones of the Comet Racing Engines business, ensuring each and every customer receives personal attention and the help they need to achieve the best results. Engine rentals are available at all the events that Comet attends in 2018, including WKA, SCUSA, USPKS, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. Contact the Comet team today at cometkartsales.com or by calling 317-462-3413. If you're looking to step up your engine program, send it to Comet Racing Engines. Now back to the Superkarts USA Winter Series, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida, here on the EKN Radio Network. Well, right back into it here right now as the drivers rolling out here in the KA100 Junior category, brought to you by PK Sports. What a thrilling finale that was, and man, a couple of crazy things. Obviously, the issue with Isaac Malkett, did not see him go off in turn number 8. And then an issue in turn 1 where we lost the leader, Alessandro Truchot as well. Then the last lap battle between Keelan Harvick and Marco Romero. Just some great racing in micro. Jumping right back in, as I said, with KA100 Junior. Let's have a look at the grid. Chase Ham will start on the pole in the 822 alongside Austin Jers in the 831. Luke Welcome and Jake Walker will be on row number 2. Welcome in the 848 and Walker in the 818. Becky Bussier in the 812 will start alongside Cole Kleck, while Ethan Gouliart and Max Schwade will be on row number 4. Row 5 will be Jesus Vasquez Jr. alongside Colin Lloyd. Row number 6 is going to see Christian Miles and Luis Colomadio. I got to get that right. Luis Colomadio in the number 810. Danny Zazelski and Ava Dobson starting on row 7. Sathvik Sarathi on row number 8 in the 15th spot alongside Emma Kate Scarborough. Field set, and we're underway. Hand to lead him into turn number 1. Get a pinch to the bottom. We've seen this happen before. He goes back to P2. It's the driver from the outside of the front row getting the advantage. Coming through 1. Austin Jers taking the early lead. The drivers stacking things up as they come through turn number 4 and 5 into the inner loop for the first time. Back over to 7 and 8. Jers with the lead. Drivers just trying to get settled in here now. Again, we saw a pretty solid run for Chase Hand up front. He's going to lose a spot. Chase is going to go back a couple positions there. I think we got to move to the inside. He's going to go back to P4. It's going to take a little time for this thing to shake out because Chase Hand got kind of shook out to dry on the outside of 1, or the inside of turn 1. That allowed Austin Jers to slide in. Hand's going to fall all the way back. In fact, he's got another freight train coming by him on the inside. So not a good opening lap for Chase Hand as he really got on the outside in. He'll have to go to work once he gets settled back in now to single file. I think he's got the speed to be able to go forward. Just didn't get the luck of the opening lap. This is going to be fun to watch because we'll see if he's able to work his way back forward. Got to get back on the offensive. Chase has been on the defensive here for this entire lap, trying to hold people off, and everybody's going to work now. Luke Welcome and Jake Walker getting in there. It was the Jake Walker, I believe, that was able to get by Hand up in turn number 9. That's caused him to be on the outside of the groove, and at that point, he was really on full defensive, as I said. As this race starts to settle in, we'll see what drivers come to the forefront. 22 laps to distance, a long way to go. And indeed, the idea not to get too impatient early. Let's give you the top 10 rundown. Austin Jers, your leader. Jake Walker into second. Luke Welcome in third. Becca Bussier up to fourth. Cole Kleck fifth. Colin Lloyd sixth. Jesus Vasquez Jr. seventh. Chase Hand eighth. Ethan Gouliart in ninth. And Christian Miles 10th. Parker DeLong up 7 spots as well. Started back in 19th. He's into P12. But I think we're going to keep an eye on Chase Hand here right now. He was able to walk away, as we said, and get that victory in the pre-final. Now that things have kind of shaken down, he's going to be able to work his way back forward. I think the speed is there. He's just got to make sure he doesn't leave the door open. Did it again. He made a pass here, and he keeps leaving the door open. Got to get a little more aggressive and more defensive there. He was able to, I believe, get by. Might have been Jesus Vasquez Jr. or Colin Lloyd, but didn't pinch down in turn number 9, and they went back by again. Yeah, Hand right behind Vasquez Jr. Jers leading now by a half a second. Got a little bit of a gap over a 3-driver grouping of Walker, Welcome, and Bussier. So front 4 drivers have got a bit of a gap because 4th back to 5th, pretty significant. Yeah, 1.7 seconds last time by. That's to Colin Lloyd. Walker set the fast lap on lap 3 early on, 50.945, but still, again, we'll watch these chassis start to come in as we start building some heat into the tires here. Walker and Welcome are lining up, trying to work together. Chase Hand able to work his way now into 7th spot. He's got open racetrack now, so we'll keep an eye on Chase Hand to see what he's able to do. Currently in the 7th position. Lots of open racetrack in front. He'll have Cole Kleck and then Colin Lloyd in front of him. And then, of course, the gap up to the top 4 because Walker, Welcome, and Yasir slowly reeling in Austin Jers. In fact, make it slowly. Call it right on him because there's a move there for Jake Walker. He's gone to P1. Walker with that dive move into the hairpin of turn number 8 coming out of turn number 7. Pennsylvania driver for Mike Doty Racing. Walker on the Cosmic. Taking over the lead. Early in the run. Top 4 drivers settling in. There's a fast lap for Chase Hand, 50.055 for the 822. He is now closed up to the rear Cole Kleck, so we'll keep an eye on that. Trying to keep a double eye as well on this lead group. Walker leading the way. Jers in 2nd. Welcome 3rd. Yasir 4th. 5th is Colin Lloyd. 6th Kleck. 6th Kleck. 7th is Hand. Drivers into the final combination of corners 10, 11, 12. It's the left-hand turn number 10. A little tiny short shoot, then right into the double apex right-hander that leads onto the front straightaway. Yeah, interesting to see the lap times because both Cole Kleck and Chase Hand significantly quicker. Hand was a half second faster than the leader, so that last time by. He's got it back down to 1.6 seconds. In fact, Chase Hand, I believe, able to get by Cole Kleck, indeed. So move Chase Hand now up into the 6th spot. A lot of action in front of him as well. Luke Welcome went to the lead. Man, they are actually 2-3 wide. They're stacking it up. This is going to play in big time for Cole Kleck and Chase Hand. Both these drivers are going to be able to close up. In fact, Hand right there, Kleck with them. They are not biding their time at all early in this run. Again, only 7 laps now down, 15 to go, and it is hectic. Christian Miles and Parker DeLong will be watching this as well from 8th and 9th. Miles a 50.524, his best lap. He's 3.1 seconds back in total, 1.6 behind Cole Kleck, but he was a half a second faster than the leader that last time by. Christian Miles, I believe, making the move to the Race Factory chassis here in 2021. Luke Welcome out to the lead. Yeah, Miles and DeLong working together now. They were 0.3 quicker than Beckham Yasir last time. They're coming as well. That's 8th and 9th. Do not count these guys out at all. Both those drivers, front runners, coming up through the cadet categories. DeLong, of course, making the move here to the junior category this year in the KA100 Junior class. He is right there with Miles, and that's a strong pairing for both those drivers to work forward. And the drivers are right in front of them now would be Beckham Yasir, Cole Kleck, and Colin Lloyd because Chase Hand's gone to P4. Chase Hand trying to see if he can't work his way back forward. Started on pole, had a horrible opening lap that saw him kind of on the outside of every corner. He's making the move now. Hand is now rolled up to the back of Austin Jers. Luke Welcome's stretched out to the lead of about a second, but there's still 13 laps to go. Here's a move to the inside for Chase Hand. Turn 4, book it. Nice move to the inside as they turned into 4, and he's able to get by Austin Jers and now right up behind Jake Walker. Walker's the guy that roughed him up essentially on the opening circuit. And he's next on the sights. Remember, all the way back to 8th position for Chase Hand, but he has shown great patience and has methodically worked his way forward. And that's anything you want out of a young driver, is to take your time when you get shuffled back. Don't let it get to your head. Refocus and just start working forward, especially if you know you have the speed. Chase obviously won the pre-final. Luke Welcome's asking for some help now. It ain't coming. There goes Hand to the inside. Welcome slams the door shut on him in turn number 2. This time he'll go by in turn 4. Yeah, Jake Walker slammed the door shut as they tried to go to turn 4. This time, Hand will defend to the inside of turn number 7, and he'll take the bottom line all the way back up to turn 9. Now he opens the door again. He allows Jake Walker back through. Just run the defensive line. Walker back to P2. This is allowing Luke Welcome to pull away. Jake Walker, I guess he thinks he's trying to hold on to the spot right now. Hand significantly quicker. He'll get him, I bet, this time coming down into 2. Right on him. This has allowed Austin Jers and Colin Lloyd back in the fight as well. This time, yeah, he's going to have some help. Jers is going to help. Hand by. Jers can't quite get it. Jers is going to get some help from behind as well. They are pushing hard to try to find a way by Jake Walker. Colin Lloyd and Austin Jers. Lloyd on the Tony kart. Jers, believe, on the Merlin with Franklin Motorsports Team FMS. But nonetheless, Hand has worked his way into P2 finally. We'll look at the gap. We'll look at some lap times because we're essentially right past the halfway point now. 11 down. It'll be 12 down with 10 to go. Gap between first and second, 2.7 seconds. Can Chase Hand reel in Luke Welcome, or does Luke have the pace to bring home a big victory here to start off the SCUSA Winter Series? KA100 Junior on the racetrack. Second main event of the day. Keelan Harvick coming home with a big victory in the Micro Swift class. It's a move for 4th and 5th. Austin Jers and Colin Lloyd going at it. Here comes Christian Miles and Parker DeLong, like I said. Watch for them to get in the hunt here too. This kind of sets the stage, starts the storyline for what we'll have over these 4 rounds of competition with the SCUSA Winter Series. Find out which drivers look to be ready to vie for a championship. Welcome, Hand, Walker. Big gaps right now. Last time by, Hand about 0.3 quicker than Luke Welcome. He's 2.4 back. He'd need 8 laps. He has 9. Behind the top 3, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, nose to tail. That is Jers, Lloyd, Miles, DeLong, Kleck, Vasquez, and Yasir. Behind them, 1.7 seconds to Sebastian Weldon, who is up 9 positions from 20th to 11th. And behind him, Cameron Brinkman up 10th spots, 10 positions from 22nd up into 12th. So both Weldon and Brinkman having good runs from deep in the field. But Hand's the driver on the move, this time about 0.2 of a second quicker. 2.3 seconds back. Luke Welcome's got such a good gap. He was able to jump away when Hand and Walker and Jers were battling. Welcome took that advantage and put down really good lap times. Yeah, his best coming on lap number 10, 50.158. He's developed that gap that may be enough to give him the victory. KA100 Senior drivers are on the grid and getting set to go. They'll be next to roll out for their main event. Luke Welcome back across the line. That's his best lap, a 50.157. But Chase Hand goes purple. Luke Welcome out of Miami on that Tony kart for V Motorsports. Gap now 2.1 seconds. Hand again, not quite 0.2 of a second. Who's got the cart to come in here at the end? Both these drivers setting their personal best laps here on lap number 15 with 7 to go. So both coming in nicely. Austin Jers turned his quick lap as well. He's got Colin Lloyd still behind him. It's Jers, Lloyd, and DeLong now, I believe, together there. Luke Welcome quicker. Chase Hand not able to get back down. Lost about 4/10 on his fast lap. A 49.998 the lap before. A 50.441. Dropped off about 4/10. You cannot do that if you're trying to reel it in. It's still a 2.2 second lead for Luke Welcome, who's got his head down. Gap for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is still epic. 7th place, Cole Kleck making a move, I believe, to the inside of, might have been Austin Jers there. Drivers going at it. 6 to go. Make that 5 to go as Luke Welcome across the line. Ooh, there's another 4/10 of a second in the other direction. 5 laps to go. Chase Hand goes purple again. 49.979. 1.8 seconds with 5 to go. Hand's going to need probably 4/10 of a second a lap. Just that gap every lap. And he's not close enough for Welcome even to worry about him. I don't think I've seen Luke look back, which is obviously key. He's staying focused forward. The minute you start looking back, you start worrying. Just start nailing those laps. Look at that. Look at the aim dash. Figure out what you need. You know the lap times you need to lay down. You're getting a little bit of a call from pit lane. Lap number 18 going to go in the books here. Another 3/10 of a second, maybe 2.5. It's down to 1.6 seconds with 4 to go. Hand's got to dig it in. He needs 4/10 of a second a lap to be able to challenge on the final circuit. 4 laps to go. Chase Hand trying to reel in Luke Welcome. But Welcome putting in great lap times. Oh, Hand can smell it, though. That happens. He is closing in a big way. Luke Welcome has got to stay focused forward. Cannot be looking backwards, because when he does, he's going to see that Chase Hand is closing. It'll be 4 to go this time by. The gap was 1.6 last time by the stripe. East Coast versus West Coast. Another 2.5 of a second. Luke Welcome from Miami. Chase Hand from Wilton, California. 1.3 seconds now. Welcome's got a pretty good gap. He's holding it enough. As I said, Hand needed about 4/10 of a second a lap. The draft could come into play, but not quite yet. This is solid. Luke Welcome doing a tremendous job. He's been in the scrap up front all day, trying to get his first SCUSA race win as well. 2 to go this time by. Does Chase Hand have anything? He's closing for sure. Another 4/10 of a second. It's a second back with 2 to go. The math doesn't work, but you never know what happens on a final circuit. We're talking about drivers in the junior categories. Mistakes can be made. Pressure can be felt. Can Hand pull it off? Luke Welcome hitting the mark. Another 50.4. It's been like 3 back-to-back 50.4s for Luke Welcome. Not really the pace he needs, but Hand is getting there. Hand's going to need to go purple one more time, I think, if he wants to close up. It's a 1-second lead for Luke Welcome. The gap has been shrinking, but he's been hitting the marks. Only about 3/10 off his best lap that came on lap 15. White flag flying. 1 to go. Welcome does a 50.3. Hand a 50.5. No, Hand loses pace there. It's a 1.2 second advantage. Welcome just got to cruise it home. Great consistency up front for Luke Welcome. 50.4s, 50.3s. Even chase as hard as he has been by hand. Luke's hit the mark. Final circuit. Good run for sure for Chase Hand. Remember, he fell all the way back to 8th after getting shuffled out at the start. Well, what a run it's been. Luke Welcome's has got to finish it off here. 3 more corners to go. Hit the marks, get on the throttle nicely coming out of turn 12 to get that first Superkarts USA victory. Aaron Likens will walk the 3 or 4 steps out. Double checker. Big victory for Luke Welcome as he takes the win. Chase Hand comes home second. Here's the scrap further back in the field. Good fight, I think, for 5th and 6th. Parker DeLong. Wow. Obviously watching this battle at the end between Luke Welcome and Chase Hand, seeing if we could have a fight. But Parker DeLong from 19th up to 3rd. What a tremendous drive for Parker. I talked about him getting further into the lead group, but in fact ends up getting to the front of that final pack in the 829. He ends up finishing 3rd. Tremendous run for Parker. Colin Lloyd finishing in 4th. Jake Walker in 5th. Cole Kleck in 6th spot. Christian Miles 7th. Austin Jers in 8th. Sebastian Weldon up 11 positions from 20th to 9th. And Jesus Vasquez Jr. rounding out the top 10. What a race that was, deep in the pack as well in KA100 Junior. But congratulations to Luke Welcome with that victory, able to get out in front of the chaos and pull away as they battled behind him. The victory, .837, as Hand gets down to a 50.2. Welcome goes to a 50.3. Hand needed another couple of laps to be able to try to get that race win. But he'll be able to come back again and try it tomorrow. Good point still for Chase Hand. Qualifies on pole, wins the pre-final, 2nd place in the main. It's all about getting the points in every one of the sessions to be able to try to win a championship. Stay with us, folks. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. From the trusted name in truck tires comes the Cooper Discoverer AT3 family of tires. The Discoverer AT3 was developed with adaptive traction technology for better handling on any surface with maximum grip in all seasons. The Discoverer AT3 was built with durable tread technology for all-season traction and extreme durability when hauling. And the Discoverer AT3 was made for confidence when hauling extreme loads and is available in larger sizes. These tires are designed with the reliability and durability you need to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the Discoverer AT3 family of tires at coopertire.com. Go with the Coopers. From coast to coast, IAMI has become the 2-cycle engine of choice for American karting. The air-cooled 60cc Swift engine for micro and mini drivers provides the foundation for future, lifelong IAMI drivers. The incredible IAMI X30 power plant for Junior, Senior, and Masters has provided stability in our sport since 2014, and it remains one of the most dependable packages today. In between is the KA100, perfect for club programs, and it's quickly becoming the most competitive division at the national level. IAMI is the spec 2-cycle power plant for the SCUSA Winter Series and Pro Tour, as well as the Pro Kart Challenge, Los Angeles Karting Championship, KPX Karting Championships, and the International Kart Federation sanctioned programs throughout the western half of the U.S. Based in Temecula, California, IAMI USA West is the official distribution center and provides dealers and customers with fast and friendly service for all your IAMI products. For more information, head to IAMIUSAWest.com. IAMI, the heart of kart. Every winter, young drivers take the leap up to the next class. Whether it's micro to mini, mini to junior, or the big jump from junior into the senior ranks, it's tougher competition. If your son or daughter are moving up a class in 2020, give them exactly what they need to be ready. professional coaching from the most respected teacher in the sport. With over 30 years of karting experience, Alan Rudolph and his staff at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy specialize in training young racers and accelerating their skills so that they're ready for the next challenge. Don't just invest in equipment, invest in your driver. Bring them to the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston and invest in their skill development. Get them ready to take on that next on-track challenge, better prepared than ever. Get ready for 2020 by calling the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at 866-607-7223. Head to speedsportsracingpark.com to learn more. If you're searching for a program to elevate you up, jumping right back into the action here, as the drivers in KA100 Senior getting ready to take the green flag. Brandon Lemke and Hannah Greenmeyer on the front row. Arias Dukmedjian and Nolan Allison on row 2. Aiden Levy and Nick Ramirez row 3. Here they come in the staging lanes. Green, green, green. And this time, a good start for Lemke from the inside. Hannah not able to get the same kind of jump that he did on her, and Greenmeyer's going to probably slide into P number 3, I think. Yeah, she had a pretty good start from the outside of the front row still. Really strong start, though, for Lemke as he's able to take the lead into the inner loop of turns 4, 5, and 6. So, indeed, some aggressive racing early on as the driver's settling in here in turn number 8 through the hairpin for the first time. Everybody threw pretty cleanly. One driver having some kind of an issue coming out of the corner. Otherwise, they've lined up pretty nicely here early. Across the line, Lemke with the lead of about 0.4 of a second. Arias Dukmedjian in second. Got Hannah Greenmeyer locked to the rear bumper of that Kart Republic machine as they worked their way out of turn number 3 and out over to 4 now. Fourth behind Greenmeyer. Another one of, I believe, Laurelson Performance Group machines, and I think that will be Nolan Allison in that number 9. Indeed, in the number 919, the driver out of Seattle, and now P4. Aiden Levy into the 5th spot. Nick Ramirez 6th. Tyler Wettengel 7th. Tyler Ferris up from 10th to 8th on the opening circuits. And then Riley Kahn and Alex Wankowski rounding out the top 10. Many Swift drivers next up. This KA100 Senior class brought to you by Haas Karts. And again, a shout out to those of you listening live here on the EKN Radio Network. Hopefully you're having a tremendous January Saturday. We're having a great time down here trackside, of course, getting the 2021 season back underway. 2020 is behind us. We're talking 2021. We're going racing, back doing what we love. And a big thank you to those of you who supported all of our EKN partners throughout the 2020 season with our support karting program, because could have been a tough year for the karting industry, but I think everybody, once they got a chance to get back to the racetrack, remembered why we love this so much and how great of a community we have. Karting's so much about having fun and about family. So thank you so much for supporting everybody through 2020. It's going to make us stronger here in 2021. Hannah Greenmeyer's been able to get by Arias Dukmedjian, and her and Lemke pulling away a bit. They got a gap of about 0.3 of a second. Lemke actually holding the spot up front. And I'll tell you, Nolan Allison able to get by Dukmedjian as well. So Allison goes to 3rd. Dukmedjian now 4th. 5th is Ramirez. 6th is Levy. So leader stretching away a little bit here now. Lemke goes purple with a 49.895. Doesn't last long. I got to scroll down because someone deeper in the field just went purple. Yeah, Thomas Annunziata, 49.875 from 15th. Annunziata started back in 27th. I mean, we talked about that the issue early that dropped them down the field, that they're going to be able to work their way back forward. And indeed, Annunziata is already up into the 27th position, rather from 27th to 15th. So Thomas Annunziata, he's only 6.3 seconds back with 18 to go. I don't know that we're going to see a Chase Hand kind of battle back to the front, but I'll tell you, I think Annunziata is going to be able to fight his way potentially to the top 10 significantly quicker than those in front of him. I'll keep an eye on him as we continue to see him work his way forward. He was 15th, now he's 13th. How's that grab you? 13th now for Annunziata in the 999. Up front, it's still Brandon Lemke leading the way. Hannah Greenmeyer very comfortably sitting there in the second spot. Same goes for Allison and Dukmejian, although Nick Ramirez slowly closing up here. Tyler Wettengel in the Will Power Cart in sixth position. We'll look at his lap times as well, whether or not he can close up. I don't know. Yeah, he's about, last time by, about 0.6 of a second off of the leader, Lemke. So I don't think he's going to be in the hunt, at least now. But nonetheless, Wettengel having a pretty good drive here, P6 alone on the racetrack. Hannah Greenmeyer's gone to the lead. Missed that, but she has indeed gone to the lead as Ramirez has gone purple. So Nick Ramirez closing up. So move Greenmeyer to P1. Lemke in second. Allison still third. Dukmeji in fourth. Ramirez fifth. That's the top five that are pulling away. Bit of a gap between second and third, but nonetheless, that top five stretching away a bit here. Wettengel all by himself in that sixth spot. Then seventh, eighth, and ninth are together, and that's Jankowski, Ferris, Tyler Ferris, and Connor Ferris. Annunziata still in that 13th position, but only about 0.2 of a second behind Riley Kane, and last time was a half a second faster. So watch for Annunziata to potentially work his way by Riley Kane this time around. Yeah, indeed, Annunziata up into the 12th spot already. 0.4 quicker than Wes Duchak. He is rolling right now. Man, what a run here for Annunziata. Started 27th, and he is up to 12th. I think he's 11th, actually. Yeah, he's 11th right now, and 10th, 9th, 8th, and 7th are right in front of him. Really about maybe a half a second back. Annunziata putting on an absolute show here now in KA100 Senior, and what a recovery if he wants to try to potentially win a championship. You got to have those consistent results, and the issue in the pre-final dropped him back to 27th. Up front, Greenmeyer and Lemke trying to stretch away from Dukmejian and Ramirez, as it looks to me like, yeah, something happened to Nolan Allison. Not so much happened, but he's fallen back to P5. Driver off on the inside of the racetrack in one. Yellow flag flying here at start-finish. But Allison's fell back now to by himself. No, where's Allison? I got to try to find out. He may have fallen a little further back indeed, because it looks like Wettengel now P5. Not even to the halfway point here. Only 8 laps down, 14 still to go. Long time for Annunziata to even come closer. Still 7 seconds behind the leaders. Annunziata now into the top 10. Just turned his fast lap of 49.773. Indeed, he was about a tenth quicker than the leader. 7 seconds back, 6.9 seconds back. So he's not catching the leader without a full course caution. But Annunziata most definitely putting on the show. Yeah, he's going to make another move there. Now he's going to find himself right behind his teammates Connor Ferris and Tyler Ferris. He gets by Gia Cicero there in turn number 8. Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened to Nolan Allison, but he's out of the race. I don't know if there was contact between he and Ramirez or Dukmejian, whatever it may be, but he is out of the race. Nolan Allison is. That may have been him over in turn number 1. I can't quite see that from where I am here in my vantage point. That's kind of a blind spot for me on the outside of 1. So So the Team Ferris racing drivers running 7th, 8th, and 9th. And Nunziata, who's came all the way from 27th now up to 9th, going to knife his way through here. Greenmeyer with about a 0.3 of a second advantage right now over Lemke. There is a slower kart quite a ways up the order, maybe about 2 or 3 seconds up the racetrack. Crossed halfway flags now, a long way in this one still. 11 laps to go. And that driver, I think, is going to pull off the racetrack and get out of the way. Nicely done for that driver here in the KA100 category. A little bit off the pace, but having a great time down here in Florida. Dukmejian's not done either. Let's just put it this way. He's been closing back up here on this lead group, and so has Ramirez. Those top 4 drivers have about a 3-second advantage over Tyler Wettengel, who's on the racetrack by himself. Ferris, and Annunziata, Connor, Tyler, and Thomas all still running nose to tail. Let's see how these teammates run together. They're actually decently separated apart right now, I think. Yeah, Annunziata is still about 0.6 of a second back, although he was about a 10th quicker than Connor that last time by. Annunziata's backed it up to a 50.2. He was down to a 49.7. That's where he needs to be. He needs to get back down a little lower. Surprised he hasn't shown the extra speed here. Greenmeyer's lead just a 10th because the pack up front separated by just about a second from Greenmeyer back to Ramirez. In fact, Ramirez fallen back a little bit. Yeah, Ramirez is back by probably a half a second now, maybe even more than that back of Dukmejian. So this is coming down to potentially a 3-driver battle because Arias is closed up here in the Kart Republic. So we got the Cosmic, we got the Merlin, and we got the Kart Republic. Greenmeyer continues to lead. Little look over the shoulder for Lemke, and he's saying, "Hey, where did you come from, Arias?" Because Dukmejian's there. It's a 3-driver battle for the race win with about 9 laps to go. Third of our 8 main events here today from AMR Homestead-Miami Motorplex, presented by MG Tires. Excited to be here at Homestead, Florida. And again, this program, Miami engines, MG tires, and a wide assortment of chassis, of course. A lot of great teams in the paddock, but again, all using the Miami power plants, whether it's the Swift engines or, of course, the KA100, which has just taken the sport by storm, the X30, which has been really, if you look back at the X30 program and think about when Scusa first dropped it in and put that 7-year lock on it, that to me I think was one of the coolest things that they did, was lock it down, and it's just been a foundation engine for so many years now, part of the Pro Tour, and this KA100 has obviously been a big part of it as well. Haas Karts, the sponsor of our KA100 Senior class. And we got ourselves a battle. Lemke just went purple, and that's given them a little bit of a gap back to Dukmejian. I had said just a lap ago that he was right there. It's about 2 or 3 kart lengths at this point now. And I'll tell you, that's what Lemke needs. If he's going to get aggressive here at the end, he does not want to have Dukmejian on top of him. Whereas if Brandon made, let's say, an ill-fated attempt or an unsuccessful attempt to get by, that he's going to lose another spot. He'd love to have that cushion to be able to do whatever he wanted in trying to overtake Greenmeyer. When you have someone right behind you, I think maybe you take a second thought about it. You got to be more decisive in a pass because you cannot risk giving up that P2 spot and not being able to come back for another shot at it. This time Greenmeyer goes purple with a 49.648. Annunziata has been able to get past Connor Ferris. In fact, Tyler slotted back a little bit. Annunziata now to P6. He was about a half a second faster than Tyler Wettengel last time by. 6 to go. 2.6 seconds still to go. Annunziata's got a chance to get to P5, I think. That would be an impressive run. Let me have a look at it visually here in a couple seconds when we come back around. Leaders through. And Annunziata's up on it. Still got quite a ways to go. Quicker by 0.4 last time by 2.2. 5 laps. It'll be close. We did the math with Chase Hand trying to reel in Luke Welcome. He needed to have those consistent laps. It doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're not consistently a half second faster, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. Got to be able to lay it down. Greenmeyer still with the lead by about 0.2 of a second. It's going to be maybe a length and a half. Lemke not in a position to make a move down in turn number 2. It's still a length and a half coming over to 3 with 4 to go. And Dugmedjian's not close enough to put any pressure on Lemke either. Though that's not playing at all to Greenmeyer. Everybody biding their time right now. As I said, the 3 different chassis manufacturers, the OTK Cosmic, the Merlin, and the Kart Republic in the top 3. Annunziata closing up still. Another 0.4 of a second on Wettengel. This could be a battle between Annunziata and Wettengel for the final spot in the Fast 5, the top 5, because he's closing in a big way. Let's have a look at it coming across the line when they come through here. Yeah, it's definitely closer. Down to 1.5 seconds with 3 to go. But he was only 0.3 faster. Wettengel may have just enough to hold him off. Greenmeyer's getting a bit more of a cushion. That's maybe 2 kart lengths. I'll tell you, Lemke's asking everything he can out of that kart right now. 49.7 for Greenmeyer, 49.8 for Lemke, 49.7 for Dugmedjian. All similar in pace. 2 to go. 2 laps remaining. And it's a 0.2 of a second gap for Greenmeyer, but Lemke just went purple, and he's got gap. Lemke's got some room back to Dugmedjian with that purple lap, which is huge for him. He went about a 10th quicker, if not more. He's got 0.4 back. This is going to give an opportunity for Lemke to maybe roll the dice on it. You're thinking championship, though. Second's not that bad. Pre-final win already in the books. Dugmedjian gets closer. Greenmeyer with the lead here. Remember, she won an X30 Senior race last year here at the Winter Series. Does she add on a KA100 victory? Main event for KA100. The senior drivers will see the white flag this time by. 1 lap to go. Couple of places not passed. Turn 2 being one of them. Greenmeyer's got some good gap coming out of turn number 1. She'll hold at least a 2 kart length lead into 2. Maintaining that to 3 and 4. Is it enough? Of course, the defense over in the turn 7-8 hairpin would set up something over in turn number 9. She needs to have enough of a gap not to have to worry, and she does right now. She's going to hold that spot. No, Lemke to the inside. Over-under for Greenmeyer. Lemke on the inside. Greenmeyer with better run down the straightaway. Lemke's got the inside. Greenmeyer's going to take a big run. She'll do the over-under again. She's got Dugmedjian. Dugmedjian goes to try to make it 3 wide. Lemke with the lead. Dugmedjian through to take over second. Greenmeyer goes back to third. Dugmedjian's beside it. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Who's going to win it? Out of the final corner to the line, and it's Lemke. Brandon Lemke with the win. Greenmeyer gave it up in turn number 9. I thought she was going to have enough room, but Lemke beautifully put it down to the bottom of the racetrack and pinched it in turn number 8, the hairpin. Greenmeyer did everything she was supposed to, the beautiful over-under, but you got to give it to Lemke. However he made that move to the inside, he was able to pull enough of speed out of that corner, and Greenmeyer just not able to get it done down into turn number 9. She tried the over-under again. Probably could have got some help from Duke Medjian, but he went to the other side of the racetrack and was able to go driver's left to be able to get past Greenmeyer because he had a better run all the way around the outside. Lemke, though, wins by 0.08 of a second. Duke Medjian second. Greenmeyer third. Ramirez holds on to fourth, and Annunziata able to get by Wettengale on the final lap. How about 27th up to 5th? 22 position improvement for Thomas Annunziata. That was an impressive run from the tail of the field. Glad we were able to pick that up as we were watching that battle up front. Nonetheless, a tremendous run there. Greenmeyer looked good, but in the very end, Lemke was able to pull the trigger. This place, as we said, so tough to defend on. Lemke, Duke Medjian, and Greenmeyer, top 3 in KA100 Senior. All right, folks, we got more to come for you. That's 3 races. What do we got? Got 5 more to go. Mini Swift will be up next. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. From the trusted name in truck tires comes the Cooper Discoverer AT3 family of tires. The Discoverer AT3 was developed with adaptive traction technology for better handling on any surface with maximum grip in all seasons. The Discoverer AT3 was built with durable tread technology for all-season traction and extreme durability when hauling. And the Discoverer AT3 was made for confidence when hauling extreme loads and is available in larger sizes. These tires are designed with the reliability and durability you need to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the Discoverer AT3 family of tires at coopertire.com. Go with the Coopers. From coast to coast, IAME has become the two-cycle engine of choice for American karting. The air-cooled 60cc Swift engine for micro and mini drivers provides the foundation for future, lifelong IAME drivers. The incredible IAME X30 power plant for Junior, Senior, and Masters has provided stability in our sport since 2014, and it remains one of the most dependable packages today. In between is the KA100, perfect for club programs, and it's quickly becoming the most competitive division at the national level. IAME is the spec two-cycle power plant for the SCUSA Winter Series and Pro Tour, as well as the Pro Kart Challenge, Los Angeles Karting Championship, KPX Karting Championships, and the International Kart Federation sanctioned programs throughout the western half of the U.S. Based in Temecula, California, IAME USA West is the official distribution center and provides dealers and customers with fast and friendly service for all your IAME products. For more information, head to IAMEUSAWest.com. IAME, the heart of kart. If you're ready to take your racing to the next level, come join us at Team FMS. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry with over 50 years of combined karting experience, and we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. We've been supplying racers with start-to-finish support at race events for many years, from providing a helping hand on a weekday test outing or at a club event, to full arrive and drive packages at the highest level of karting competition. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Most recently, Leading Edge Motorsports and Greg Bell helped guide Danny Formel to victory at both the Rock the Rio and the Superkarts USA Super Nationals. So jumping right back into the Mini Swift category, those drivers getting ready to roll out of the front straightaway right now. Mateus Orjuela will start on the pole position alongside Enzo Vidmontien. Oliver Weldon and Salvador Della Vecchia will be on row 2. Carson Weinberg alongside Ava Hansen on row 3. Kai Johnson and Steve Miller 7th and 8th in the order, row 4, while the top 10 capped off by Carson Walters and Diego Ardiles. Row 6 will be Indy Reagan and Asher Osteen. Row 7, Luis Umana and Kay Jagger. On row 8, it'll be Braden Service and Cash Perkins. Row 9, Vivek Canthan and Jace Petty. Row 10 will see Jensen Burnett. Watch for Jensen to come from deep in the field alongside Alan Bonilla. Field set. Green, green, green as they work their way into turn 1. Cleanly through 1, down that long straightaway into the 90-degree turn number 2. Same good to go. Short shoot over to turn 3, another 90. And then probably a little more of a 90, digging it right all the way around to get into the inner loop. One driver backwards coming through turn number 4. Able to continue on. Otherwise, cleanly rolling through now turn number 7 and 8. Trying to get this opening lap in the books. Again, I said one of the drivers to watch for from further in the back had the issue. Jensen Burnett in the number 19. Sebastian Garzon as well started 23rd. Those are two drivers to watch coming forward because they definitely have the speed to get to the front. Again, this Mini Swift category brought to you by Nitro Kart. And Mateus Orjuela into the lead early, 0.6 of a second. The opening gap that he has over Oliver Weldon, Carson Weinberg, and Enzo Vidmontien. That's the bigger gap then back to 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So this will represent the halfway point of our main events, our 4th of the 8 races that we have on the docket here for today. And again, hello to those of you listening live on the EKN Radio Network, and hello to everyone here trackside at AMR Homestead-Miami Motorplex, presented by MG Tires. Mateus Orjuela out to a pretty solid lead. He had a very strong advantage in the pre-final as well, was able to stretch away. And again, everyone else having to kind of dial things in a little bit here to see if they can't step up to run with him. Do not want to let him get away as he did in that pre-final. Orjuela trying to bang off these purple laps. Vidmontien, though, was quicker that last time by a 52.313. He still has about a second advantage, but Oliver Weldon and Enzo Vidmontien working together. Big gap back now to Carson Weinberg in that 4th spot. He's got a bit of an advantage over 5th, 6th, and 7th, which are Carson Walters, Indy Reagan, and Kai Johnson. Jensen Burnett already up 9 spots. Burnett up to 10th, 6.5 seconds back. Again, Burnett started back in the 19th position, 2 seconds now behind Ava Hansen, quicker last lap by about a second and a half faster, so definitely closing up. Ava behind Stephen Miller, and Kai Johnson. Big group there. But yeah, Burnett's rolling. In fact, he just went purple. That's why I said to watch out for Burnett. Purple with a 52.018. Very similar lap time to Orjuela. He doesn't have the ability to close up to get the race win, but definitely a much better position starting in the 19th spot. I got to think that 4th or 5th a potential for Burnett if he's able to keep this pace up. He'll have to work his way through Ava Hansen, Stephen Miller, Kai Johnson, Indy Reagan, and Carson Walters. You even reel in Carson Weinberg. But the pace definitely there. Purple lap on lap 4, 1.3 seconds behind Hansen. But that last time by quicker by 0.7 of a second. That'll only take 2 laps for Burnett to be there. And it's, remember, a long race. 20 laps for the drivers here in the Mini Swift category. Orjuela out to now 1.4 seconds, about 0.2 quicker a lap than Weldon and Vidmontien. Even those two drivers working together, because Vidmontien pushing and being right there with Weldon. They just need to find that little bit more. Weinberg 2.9 seconds behind the second and third place running Weldon and Vidmontien. He's got a little bit of a gap over Carson Walters, as I had said, but coming across the line now. In fact, they're lining up. Weinberg, Reagan, and Walters, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Burnett now right on Hansen. Sebastian Garzon, another driver I said to watch for, up into the 11th spot now, up 13 spots from 24th to 11. Sebastian Garzon at 52.380. 0.7 faster than Hansen and Miller and Kai Johnson. So again, Garzon's coming as well. Let's pick up a couple of the other movers coming up through the field. Garzon up 14, as I said. Burnett up 12. Christian Chiano up 9 spots. Started in the 25th position. He's now up into the 16th position. Yeah, really, that's the only other driver, to be honest. There's really only 3 drivers that have made significant moves up, and that is Chiano, Garzon, and Burnett. Indy Reagan up 6 spots. He's in the P5 right now. Good run here for Indy Reagan. Minnesota driver for Franklin Motorsports on the Merlin. Hopefully got a little bit of excitement there for a big win for Brandon Lemke for Merlin Nation. And Indy Reagan trying to do the same thing. He goes to P4, in fact. Indy Reagan works his way to the front of that next group behind the lead 3. Jensen Burnett's coming, as I had said. Reagan 4th, Weinberg 5th, Carson Walters in the 6th spot. Burnett now 7th, right there. In fact, I think Burnett may be by already to P6. Here comes the next group across the line. Top 3 have already rolled through. And, yeah, here goes a move to the inside right now. Burnett to the inside of Walters. Didn't get the job done at that point, but now, yes, is now into P5. Jensen Burnett to 5th position. I said 4th was probably the opportunity. And Burnett continues to work his way forward. Now going to try to find a way by Indy Reagan. Needs to reel him in a bit because Reagan's got a bit of a gap of about 3 or 4 kart lengths. But I just don't think he's going to hold him back because Burnett's been so good coming forward here. 2.5 seconds of lead for Mateus Orjuela as he's been able to pull away. Goes purple again here on lap number 10 to 51.909. 3 seconds the lead here for Orjuela in the Mini Swift category over Enzo Vidmontien and Oliver Weldon. Vidmontien's pulling a bit of a gap now on Weldon. About 0.4 of a second is the advantage, but they got a huge gap back to Indy Reagan. Make that Jensen Burnett because he has finally gotten by. So Burnett into fourth. 9 laps to go. 6.1 seconds behind Oliver Weldon, but very similar lap times. Maybe a bit quicker, a 52.2 to Vidmontien's 52.4. That's just not going to happen. But nonetheless, it's been a really strong run for Jensen Burnett. I look for him to be a challenger for the race win tomorrow. We do have ourselves a really good battle. I want to say maybe 6th, 7th, 8th on back. Yeah, that's Walters, Miller, Garzone, Della Vecchia, Osteen, Hansen, Johnson. That's outside the top 6 now, or top 5. Yeah, because you go Orjuela out by 3.3, Vidmontien and Weldon, then Burnett and Reagan, then 2.2 back to Della Vecchia, but he's got Garzone right there. So the fight really to watch here right now is 6 back to probably 13th. Make that 14th because Luis Omana's in there as well, I think, as is Vivek Canthan. Canthan making the move up from the Micro Swift class to the Mini Swift category here in 2021. Seven laps remaining. 7 laps to go. Pro Shifter, Master Shifter will be up next. Orjuela dominating the action like he did in the pre-final. 3.6 seconds now the advantage for the Parolin driver. Vidmontien's not been able to shake Oliver Weldon, though, that's for sure. Weldon actually was a bit quicker last time by, less than 0.4 of a second the gap. I think we may see ourselves with a potential battle still with Weldon trying to go to P3, or P2 rather. Six laps remaining. Got some great races for you still to come. Of course, the X30 Junior, Master, and Seniors drivers ready to cap it off. Senior, of course, will be a barn burner to wrap up the day, and we'll get to do it all again tomorrow. So those of you who are tuning in here, same schedule for tomorrow. 9 o'clock start time for qualifying. 9:05 we're supposed to roll, but we'll fire up here on the EKN radio network around 9 o'clock. And, of course, roll all the way through pre-finals that start at 10:25. Main event starting at 1 o'clock. Cap off day number 2, round 2 of this year's SCUSA Winter Series. Back here again to Homestead, Florida in February. Do it all again. Reverse direction, counterclockwise around this 0.7 of a mile track. Gorgeous weather for us here this weekend for sure. 68 degrees here, ambient temperature trackside right now. Down to 66 actually. They're saying 70 degrees tomorrow, but it's just really comfortable. Sebastian Garzone coming forward as well. We talked about Jensen Burnett able to work his way to P4. Now has about 3 seconds on Indy Reagan. Sebastian Garzone, I think, with a good possibility of getting by Indy Reagan to go to P5 as well. Remember, Burnett and Garzone, both front runners in qualifying and the pre-final until they ended up dropping to the tail of the field. So Garzone now just 0.7 of a second behind Reagan, quicker by about a half a second with 4 to go. Seems like a matter of time before Garzone potentially able to get to Indy Reagan. But nonetheless, Indy Reagan still with a good run here. Started 11th, now running 5th. Going to battle it out with Garzone for P5. Almost a full 5 seconds for Orjuela, and as I said, Oliver Weldon's got himself back to P2. Weldon kept pushing on Enzo Vidmontien, and he's been able to work his way to second. So move Weldon back to second, Vidmontien to third. They're not done because they're locked and loaded. They'll see the 2 to go sign this next time by. Reagan's got Garzone all over him. I think Garzone may have slipped by for 5th. That will put Reagan back to the 6th spot. They got a pretty good gap back to Salvador Della Vecchia, who runs 7th. Asher Osteen 8th. Carson Walters just turned her fast lap time with a 52.702 P9. That's where she started. And Stephen Miller in 10th. Christian Chiano up 11 spots, now up into the 14th position, having started 25th. 5.3 seconds to lead for Mateus Orjuela. It is a dominant run. Oh, there's a move for Vidmontien to the inside of turn number 8. Book it. Takes it back. Weldon going left, going right, trying to figure out a way by. So Vidmontien takes the spot back, but Weldon, who has graduated up to the mini class this year from micro, looking for a nice podium. White flag flying for Orjuela. Weldon's going to try to dig back in to see if he can close up here again. Yeah, Garzone to 5th, Reagan to 6th. Della Vecchia trying to close as well and could be closing on Indy Reagan. Indy's got to keep the throttle down here if he wants a P6 position. So Mateus Orjuela cruising around the racetrack right now to grab the first win of the Winter Series here in the Mini Swift category. Checker flag flying for Orjuela. He'll get the win. Big victory. Vidmontien has Weldon essentially pushed him across the line. Jensen Burnett from 19th ends up 2.5 seconds behind that battle for second and third. Almost made his way back to the podium. Garzone in 5th. Good run for Indy Reagan to 6th. Della Vecchia 7th. Osteen 8th. Miller 9th. And Kai Johnson rounding out the top 10. Orjuela, 7.5 seconds, the victory for the young driver. Vidmontien and Weldon will join him on the podium when we wrap up the day here today. Halfway point. Shifters up next, followed by all 3 X30 categories. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Most recently, Leading Edge Motorsports and Greg Bell helped guide Danny Formel to victory at both the Rock the Rio and the Superkarts USA Super Nationals 23. Based in Lodi, California, Leading Edge Motorsports is the Western importer for IP karting, which includes the Praga and Formula K chassis brands. Leading Edge Motorsports is already looking forward to the 2021 season, which begins with the Challenge of the Americas, the premier winter series on the West Coast under the Rock Cup USA banner. Leading Edge Motorsports is also eyeing the Florida Winter Tour and several other programs. Arrive and drive services to kart preparation and driver coaching are all available under the LEM 10 throughout 2021. Greg Bell has been building racing engines for over 20 years, and he's excited with the continuing growth of his new Mega Power race motor building program. It doesn't matter what color your chassis is, choose Mega Power to get to the front. For more information, click over to leadingedgemotorsports.com and find them on Facebook. At Leading Edge Motorsports, winning never gets old. Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and safety gear to get you on the track. Shop AKRA.com offers a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors in the sport to ensure that all the latest equipment is available to you, the consumer. With customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Also, follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials, clearance items, and new products. From coast to coast, IAME has become the two-cycle engine of choice for American karting. The air-cooled 60cc Swift engine for micro and mini drivers provides the foundation for future, lifelong IAME drivers. The incredible IAME X30 power plant for Junior, Senior, and Masters has provided stability in our sport since 2014, and it remains one of the most dependable packages today. In between is the KA100, perfect for club programs, and it's quickly becoming the most competitive division at the national level. IAME is the spec two-cycle power plant for the SCUSA Winter Series and Pro Tour, as well as the Pro Kart Challenge, Los Angeles Karting Championship, KPX Karting Championships, and the International Kart Federation sanctioned programs throughout the western half of the U.S. Based in Temecula, California, IAME USA West is the official distribution center and provides dealers and customers with fast and friendly service for all your IAME products. For more information, let's get things underway with the drivers rolling up here in the shifter kart categories. Alan Isambard on the Paralyn starting on the pole position alongside Brent Cruz. Row 2, David Greco and Baylor Griffin. Row 3, Pierce Baldus and Devin Smith Harden. Row 4, Andy Rule and Freddie Hemrev. Field set. Green, green, green. Decent start for Brent Cruz, but a whole shot for Isambard. He'll take the lead. Oh, big hop up over the curbing. Let's see if Cruz attacks him early. He does not. Brent Cruz had good speed, remember, in the pre-final, but wasn't able to get the consistency he needed. It's key now to not let Isambard pull away, but Adam's going to try to put down good laps to see if he can't stretch out. Qualified on pole, won the pre-final, and another hole shot will put Isambard in the Paralyn out front as the leader. 5 drivers as well in our Master Shifter category. Skitchy Barnes, Amir Sanada, Brian Smith, Freddie Emrev, and Ken Schilling. Emrev with the win in the pre-final. We'll see what happens when they roll around here. We'll give you the lineup in all the categories. Isambard with the lead. Cruz, Greco, Annie Rule to P4, Baylor Griffin 5th, Smith Harden 6th, Baldus 7th. Skitchy Barnes with the lead over Amir Sanada. Not sure what happened to Emrev to start at the tail of the field, whether something happened in the pre-final or not. But nonetheless, Scott Barnes now with the lead in the Masters category. Isambard with an early lead, but Brent Cruz and David Greco right there. Good start for Andy Rule to get out in front of Baylor Griffin. Greco turns the fastest lap of that particular circuit, so that's good for him to settle in here to try to see if he can't reel him in, because I'll tell you, Brent Cruz not letting Isambard get away as of yet. Isambard pounding the curb coming through turn 7 to get to 8, and Cruz hanging with them now. Barnes with about a 1.5 second lead over Amir Sanada in the Master Shifter category. Barnes in the number 609 machine. Yeah, pretty good lead right now for Barnes as the Masters leader, but a long way to go, as we said. 22 laps the distance. PSL Karting, the sponsor of our Pro and Master shifter categories, and we definitely got ourselves a fight up front. Brent Cruz starting to put the pressure on Alan Isambard. That's for the lead here in the Pro Shifter category. There goes Cruz to the inside. He's got the spot. Isambard's going to cross him coming around the drag race all the way down into turn number 2, and Isambard takes it back. Ripping and grabbing the gears all the way up to turn number 2. Isambard takes it back. That's allowed David Greco to get back into it, the PSL Karting Burrell Art machine. Parolin, Formula K, and Burrell Art for you. Top 3 drivers. Cruz looking to the inside of turn number 10. Not able to crisscross this time, and Cruz got the spot. Isambard not able to get back by. I think Greco might have been able to make it a little tougher for Isambard, so Cruz now grabbing over the lead. See if Cruz is able to pull away a little bit here. He did have the fast lap from lap 3, but very early in the run, as we know. Any Rule running in that 4th position. Fifth is the 223 of Baylor Griffin. 6th is Smith Harden. 7th is Baldus. 8th overall, leading the Masters category, is Sketchy Barnes, about 3.5 seconds now ahead of Freddie Hemrev. Hemrev was able to win the pre-final. See if Barnes can hold on to the spot right now. Both drivers turning their fastest laps last time by, but Barnes about a tenth quicker. 47.9 for Barnes, 47.2 for Hemrev. He just cleared up 0.7 of a second, 2.9 back. Barnes fell off his fast lap by about 0.3 of a second, but Hemrev going in the other direction. So Sketchy Barnes may have his hands full as Freddie Hemrev's coming. Cruz to the fast lap, went purple with a 46.405 last time by, now with a half a second gap. Brent Cruz on the Leading Edge Motorsports Formula K, just 12 years of age, special allowance by Superkarts USA to run here in the shifter kart category, and he's looking good out front. Isambard, though, not letting him get away at all. And Greco's pretty close, too, as is Andy Rule. Andy's putting some good lap times down, 46.702. She was actually quicker than Greco that last lap, but she's only about a second back. So Andy Rule still pushing hard there on the Magic Kart. Greco lays down his fastest lap, a 46.555, and that was very similar to the lap times by Cruz and Isambard. So all three of these drivers starting to dial things in here. Bodes well for the fight we'll see tomorrow. Back in Masters, Hemrev slowly closing up. A couple of tenths of a second a lap on Sketchy Barnes. Still a 2.6 second advantage. Amir Sonata running third. Ken Schilling fourth, and Brian Smith in fifth. Schilling, though, right there with Sonata. We'll pick up on that battle a little bit. There's Barnes across the line with a 47.6. Hemrev with a 47 flat. Another 0.6 of a second. Still 13 to go. Barnes needs more speed. Hemrev closing up on him. Ken Schilling, the veteran driver, continuing to put the pressure here on Amir Sanada. Sanada driving the Magic, driver out of Brooklyn, New York. And with Magic Kart USA, Ken Schilling on the Aluminos, running with Howden Motorsports Group. Isambard a bit quicker than Cruz that last time by as well. Half a second separating first and second. I don't think we're done with the battle here at all because Isambard's closed within about 2 kart lengths now. Scott Barnes turns his fast lap of 47.587. That kart starting to come in. His gap, his advantage over Hemrev now 1.675. He needs to keep coming because Hemrev was quicker. Even with the fast lap, was quicker by over 0.3 of a second. Schilling and Sanada scrapping it out. They've got Brian Smith right there with them as well. Brian Smith's on the CKR chassis, working with the Smith Brothers Honda crew. Brian out of Quincy, Illinois, SB Power Sports. Still right there with Sanada and Schilling for third, final position on the podium. Barnes lost another 0.6 of a second to Hemrev. It's like a matter of time before Hemrev able to close up the Barnes and potentially take the spot away with 10 laps to go. Same goes with third, fourth, and fifth at Masters. Man, they're all over each other. Good scrap again. Baylor Griffin and Devin Smith Howden going at it. Hemrev closing up on Barnes now to within 0.7. Looks like about 6 or 7 kart lengths as they work their way down into turn number 9. He's just been slowly and methodically catching up. Pascom's a different order. We'll see whether or not Scott's able to hold him back. You have to do so for 9 laps. Another 0.3 of a second gap. Hemrev just that much quicker than Barnes. They'll have to dial that Intrepid in for Scott Barnes a little more if he wants to get a victory here in round number 2 tomorrow. Now Hemrev all over him. Try to find that way by. Barnes dives into the apex of turn 8. Gets out of that corner pretty nicely. Third, fourth, and fifth in the Masters class, still dicing it out. Sanada, Schilling, and Smith. Schilling trying everything to find a way by. Here's the move to the inside for Ken Schilling. Book it. He's through. Ken Schilling goes to P3. Able to get by Sanada over in turn 9. So a good pass for Schilling. Pulls that trigger. Schilling see if he can't open a bit of a gap. Smith now going to work trying to slip by Amir Sanada. Cruz across the line to put lap 15 in the book. 7 to go. He goes purple, 46.332. Fastest lap there for Cruz. Now 0.6 of a second the advantage as he tries to slowly slip from the clutches of Alan Isambard. Barnes still holding off Hemrev. Both drivers now 47.7s. Barnes a veteran. Going to have to dig deep, try to hold off Hemrev because he's got the extra pace on him. Oh, Hemrev with a move to the inside of 7. Barnes slams the door on the exit, though, and gets a good run at 8. sure if that's quite the place to pass. If you're going to try to take it in 7, you got to get that thing through to own the exit of the corner because you don't quite have it. Barnes still holding the spot. Annie Rule out early. Not sure what happened to Annie as I look down the order here. 14 laps, she was done. Yeah, there's, I think, like a driver off. Somewhere between turns 2 and 3. That could be Annie Rule over there, done for the day. Cruz, Isambard, Greco, Griffin, Smith, Harden, and Bolus. That's the order of the 6 drivers remaining here in Pro Shifter. Barnes, Hemrev, Schilling, Sonata, and Smith. 5 drivers in the Masters category. Good scrap for the race win here, though. Scott Barnes trying to hold off Freddie Hemrev. 5 to go. Moving to the X30 categories next. Junior, followed by Master, followed by Senior to cap off round 1 of the SCUSA Winter Series here in Homestead. And Scott Barnes doing everything to hold off Freddie Hemrev. Hemrev has shown extra pace. Ken Schilling's done a good job getting away from Amir Sonata into the 3rd spot. Ken put a lot of pressure on Amir through the first half of the race. Finally was able to pull the trigger to get by. We're not done yet with the race win either. Brent Cruz has had good speed, but I'll tell you, Alan Isambard has been relentless in the pressure. Has not let him get away, trying to force the young driver into a little mistake to me, allow him to get back by. So we've got battles for both race wins. They're on top of each other in both categories. This is good stuff. Freddie Hemrev trying to find a way by Scott Barnes, and Alan Isambard trying to find a way past young Brent Cruz. 3 to go. 3 laps remaining. Cruz with a bit of an advantage. And again, coming up to the tail of the Masters field. And in fact, Brent Smith is going to pull off to the side, let them go through. He wasn't really in a challenge there. That's a good shot there for Brent Smith. Hemrev all over Barnes, but I said Sketchy's a veteran driver in the sport more than 20 years. Won his share of races, especially in the shifter kart category. He's the Rock Island Grand Prix winner. Of course, multi-time champion of the Bermuda Karting Club, Daytona race winner. He's trying to hold off Freddie Hemrev here at home. Isambard, I believe, tried to make a move by, and I think he may have gone backwards. Yeah, something happened there to Alan Isambard. Not sure where Alan is because I believe the Cruz just came across the line. That moves David Greco up to 2nd. That'll put Baylor Griffin to 3rd. Isambard off the racetrack. White flag flying. Final circuit. Barnes, 1 lap to try to hold off Hemrev. Hemrev up and over the curbing on the inside of 1, trying everything he can to get by in turn 2. Final lap here. This will be the only real race on the track right now as Cruz has got the lead. As something happened to Isambard. Hemrev looks to the inside of 4, not enough. Barnes trying to get through turns number 5 and 6. Over to 7, he's got a pretty good gap. Cruz with the win in Pro Shifter. David Greco coming home to 2nd. 3rd is going to be Baylor Griffin. 4th, Smith Harden. Devin Smith Harden all over him. Here comes the final run, though. Pierce Baldus will come home to P5. Scott Barnes trying to hold off Freddie Hemrev. He's had to do it the entire race long. because Hemrev most definitely the quickest guy out of the corner, though. The veteran driver pulls it off. Sketchy Barnes holding off a half a race-long attack from Freddie Hemrev. That was a battle. Barnes somehow digging in to be able to hold him off. Hemrev just not able to pull the trigger. Ken Schilling finishing in third to cap the podium. Amir Sonata in fourth and Brian Smith in fifth. Again, an issue for Alan Isambard. I didn't see it on the racetrack, but he ends up going out. I would assume trying to find a way by Brent Cruz. We'll see those drivers get back at it again tomorrow. Isambard very quick. Just wasn't able to quite pull the trigger. So, folks, that wraps things up for the Pro and Master Shifter category. It's going to be X30 Junior up next. Stay with us. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. If you're ready to take your racing to the next level, come join us at Team FMS. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry with over 50 years of combined karting experience, and we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. We've been supplying racers with start-to-finish support at race events for many years, from providing a helping hand on a weekday test outing or at a club event, to full arrive-and-drive packages at the highest level of karting competition. Our championship-winning Merlin chassis have won at all levels and in all age groups. The Merlin Cadet 950 is the perfect fit for our mini and micro drivers. The Merlin MR29 is the championship pedigree for our junior pilots, and the Merlin LM30 provides our senior and masters drivers with the potential to reach the top step of any podium. Be part of Merlin Nation today. For the 2020 season, Team FMS will be attending the Superkarts USA Winter Series, Superkarts USA Pro Tour, the United States Pro Kart Series, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Every winter, young drivers take the leap up to the next class. Whether it's micro to mini, mini to junior, or the big jump from junior into the senior ranks, it's tougher competition. If your son or daughter are moving up a class in 2020, give them exactly what they need to be ready. Professional coaching from the most respected teacher in the sport. With over 30 years of karting experience, Alan Rudolph and his staff at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy specialize in training young racers and accelerating their skills so that they're ready for the next challenge. Don't just invest in equipment, invest in your driver. Bring them to the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston and invest in their skill development. Get them ready to take on that next on-track challenge, better prepared than ever. Get ready for 2020 by calling the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at 866-607-7223. Head to speedsportsracingpark.com to learn more. Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer to winning in karting. At the helm is industry veteran Greg Bell, who has orchestrated the success of many drivers dating back to the mid-1990s. Most recently, Leading Edge Motorsports and Greg Bell helped guide Danny Formel to victory at both the Rock the Rio and the Superkarts USA Super Nationals 23. Based in Lodi, California, Leading Edge Motorsports is the Western importer for IP karting, which includes the Praga and Formula K chassis brands. Leading Edge Motorsports is already looking forward to the 2021 season, which begins with the Challenge of the Americas, the premier winter series on the West Coast under the Rock Cup USA banner. Cutting back in here to get things underway with the drivers in the X30 Junior category, brought to you by Speed Concepts. Noel Baker starting on the pole position alongside Kai Sorensen. This is going to be a great battle. Max Garcia and Leonardo Hassan will be on row number 2 in the field set. Green flag flying. Good start for the inside row. And they're underway. Out of turn 1 over to 2. Noah Baker getting a good start there. The number 749. They'll get themselves over to turn number 2. One driver off the racetrack on the exit of 1. Corner workers jumping into action there. Otherwise, most drivers settling in. Another driver involved over in turn 2. So a couple drivers dropping out here early. Otherwise, settling in. Lead 3 drivers trying to stretch away. I'll give you the top 10 rundown when they come back around here. But we are underway for race number 5 of the day. Make that race number 6. 6, 7, and 8. All X30s. It's X30 Junior on the racetrack right now. Noah Baker leading with Max Garcia and Aiden Ingrata. They've got about a 7/10 of a second advantage over Kai Sorensen, who has teamed up with Alexander Berg. They run 4th and 5th. Another second back to Jack Jeffers, who then has Jakob Kolar, Leonardo Hassan, Jeremy Fletcher, and Michael Costello. Big start for Daniel Perez, able to get through some of the chaos. He goes from 27th up to 14th, while Paul Bocuse, who started 31st, finds his way up into 16th at the end of the opening circuit. So a couple of drivers doing a great job to essentially wind their way through some of the chaos to be able to get some great advantages early on in the run. Baker with the lead. Again, just getting things settled in now. Long way to go. 22 lapper for drivers in X30 Junior. Ingrata slots his way up into the second spot. Garcia third, and here comes Sorensen and Alexander Berg. First time for Alexander Berg to be here at Homestead, so to be running here in the top 5, got to give the props to the Canadian driver who obviously we've had a chance to talk with a bit on the EKN radio network and, of course, on our EKN Live face-to-face program on YouTube, as he was one of the winners in the karting group to get the Mazda Motorsports Club Racing Factory Drive along with Bryson Morris. We were able to send a bunch of names to Mazda, and they had a shootout for the drivers here out of the karting ranks, and Alexander and Bryson able to come out with that scholarship, and good to see him running here now in the top 5. Getting a feel for this racetrack here at Homestead as he is working to try to reel his way up here. Currently in that P5 position, about 6/10 of a second back. Kai Sorensen has the experience here. That's the one differentiation. Obviously, Alexander Berg just getting a feel for this track. First time here. Sorensen's been here a number of years and has always run very strongly, and we expect Kai to be in the fight for the race win. He's P4 right now and getting settled in. Baker's still leading, though. Fletcher, though, with the fast lap last time by a 49.283. Jeremy Fletcher started 15th, now running in the 7th position. That is exactly the kind of attack you want when you start outside the top 10. Only 2.6 seconds back. We'll keep an eye on Fletcher, who topped the happy hour practice yesterday afternoon. He's definitely going to be a driver to watch here. Alexander Berg going backwards. Something might have happened to Berg on the racetrack because he has fallen, potentially falling to the tail of the field. So not some good luck there for Berg. He'll have to come back and do it again tomorrow. And indeed, yeah, he's falling up to the tail of the field, as is Jack Jeffers. So Jack Jeffers and Alexander Berg now to the tail of the field. Aiden Ingrata took over the lead last time by. Baker slotted into second. Fletcher's the man on the move, though. Another fast lap. He's currently P5. Going to reel in the lead quartet. That's Ingrata, Baker, Sorensen, and Garcia, as Sorensen's moved his way into P2. Alexander Berg remains on the racetrack after the incident, continues to circulate. I would expect that he'll probably roll it back into pit lane. Not sure whether or not he'll stay out on the racetrack where he is now, but may want to get that seat time to get comfortable on the track to get back at it tomorrow, because, again, every driver presses the reset button. We roll it here tomorrow. Morning warm-up, qualifying, pre-final, and final. We'll do it all again for round number 2 on Sunday. Fletcher slowly reeling in. The Bennick driver now, another purple lap, 48.842. 1.6 seconds behind the leader and only 9/10 behind Max Garcia. Aiden Ingrata, the 755, your leader, as this front-running quartet content to go nose to tail. This is more of what you expect out of some of the veteran drivers here in the X30 Junior category. No real sense to battle it out now, especially in a long race like this one, 22 laps in distance. Settle into the position. Hope those of you at home enjoying the broadcast so far here on the EKN Radio Network. Big thank you to our broadcast partners here who have come on board for this race. Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, and the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy. And excited to have Cooper Tires back on with us for the 2021 season. Watching Jeremy Fletcher try to close up on this front-running group of four drivers, and they're actually starting to battle a little bit, a little side-by-side at 8th, and you can be sure that Jeremy's got a little grin under the helmet now, saying, guys, all I need is for you to battle a little bit. Just fight a bit. A couple of dive bomb moves. That's all I need. He'll be right in there. Garcia's the one I think that's starting to get a little impatient right now. He's P4. He's going to try to make a move to the inside of Ingrata for P3, but he doesn't. Bit of contact on the exit of 2. That's going to allow Fletcher to dive into 4. I just looked down for 1 second as Garcia made a move inside Ingrata. Oh, contact there between Ingrata and, Garcia and Fletcher. Fletcher to the back of Garcia, spins him around. Garcia able to continue. But there was contact from the back there as Fletcher was rolling into the apex of turn number 8. Got to the back of Garcia and essentially looped him around. Garcia was able to continue, but I'm sure race control will be having a look at that contact for Fletcher. And I'm surprised Fletcher would have pulled the trigger there. He's so much faster than the guys in front. Probably didn't need to do that. We'll see how that plays out here. Whatever it's done, the leaders have pulled away. Noah Baker and Kai Sorensen are going to fight this amongst themselves. And Grata is able to go into 3rd as he was able to get through the chaos there. I think Fletcher into the 4th spot. Garcia held on for 9th. He was able to continue. Didn't go all the way around, but of course, you're trying to get on the throttle there to get that exit speed when you're halfway backwards. You're definitely not going to have the gap you want coming through. So Baker and Sorensen out with a nice little lead now, 3.5 seconds from Ingrata. You know that Garcia will be back up on the horse moving forward. Hey, how about this? 24 position improvement for Paul Bocuse. Started 31st. I told you, really big opening lap. I think he got up to 15th or something like that. But he's already into the 7th spot. Bocuse in the Speed Concepts Racing number 24. He is now into 7th. Just went purple with a 48.754. So this guy's on the move right now. Incredible run for Paul Bocuse. 5.6 seconds back, 0.2 quicker than the leader. Not enough to be able to chase down the leaders, of course, but potentially a podium? You never know. Got to keep digging. Trying to pick up Bocuse across the line. Currently 6th spot now. 1.5 seconds behind Costello. So, okay, he's leading that next group. We've got the 2 leaders out front in Baker and Sorensen. Then we've got about a 3.5 second gap back to the 3 drivers of Ingrata, Fletcher, and Costello. Those 3 drivers are the ones you expect right now that are going to battle for the final position on the podium. Oh, got a driver over. 2 drivers connected. One of them actually went over on the exit of turn number 1. SCUSA corner workers are there. Yellow flag flying. And the yellow flag being waved there. The other drivers are there. We got yellow flag flying. I'm not sure if we're going to go red. No, we're going to go full course yellow. Full course yellow. So full course yellow, drivers need to come to a stop, or come to the pace car speed, essentially. Full course yellow. So we have a driver off the racetrack so they can get the medics to that driver. The driver's, I believe, already taken his helmet off and is right now laying down on the racetrack. A couple drivers involved in an incident on the exit of turn number 1. A weird place for the cars to get. You got to expect there's probably some kind of contact coming through the corner. We have full course yellow. The medics, of course, working their way there now. We have SCUSA workers there as well. So full course yellow here on the racetrack as we get this handled, folks. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll come back and give you an update on where things are. 12 laps down, 10 to go by the halfway point. Red flag actually being thrown here on start-finish. Indeed, a red flag here right now. Again, the EMTs with the driver that had gone over in the exit of turn number 1. So stay with us, folks. More to come here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. If you're ready to take your racing to the next level, come join us at Team FMS. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry with over 50 years of combined karting experience, and we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. We've been supplying racers with start-to-finish support at race events for many years, from providing a helping hand on a weekday test outing or at a club event, to full arrive and drive packages at the highest level of karting competition. Our championship-winning Merlin chassis have won at all levels and in all age groups. The Merlin Cadet 950 is the perfect fit for our mini and micro drivers. The Merlin MR29 is the championship pedigree for our junior pilots, and the Merlin LM30 provides our senior and masters drivers with the potential to reach the top step of any podium. Be part of Merlin Nation today. For the 2020 season, Team FMS will be attending the Superkarts USA Winter Series, Superkarts USA Pro Tour, the United States Pro Kart Series, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Every winter, young drivers take the leap up to the next class. Whether it's micro to mini, mini to junior, or the big jump from junior into the senior ranks, it's tougher competition. If your son or daughter are moving up a class in 2020, give them exactly what they need to be ready. Professional coaching from the most respected teacher in the sport. With over 30 years of karting experience, Alan Rudolph and his staff at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy specialize in training young racers and accelerating their skills so that they're ready for the next challenge. Don't just invest in equipment, invest in your driver. Bring them to the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston and invest in their skill development. Get them ready to take on that next on-track challenge, better prepared than ever. Get ready for 2020 by calling the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at 866-607-7223. Head to speedsportsracingpark.com to learn more. Acceleration Kart Racing is your first and only stop on the internet for karts, parts, and safety gear to get you on the track. Shop eKRA.com offers a great selection of karting equipment on a user-friendly website. Acceleration Kart Racing has aligned itself with many of the top manufacturers and distributors in the sport to ensure that all the latest equipment is available to you, the consumer. With customer support available 6 days a week, you can be confident about getting the right parts at the right price. Be sure to visit shopakr.com today or stop by their headquarters in Las Vegas. Also, follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest specials, clearance items, and new products. Motor mounts are critical to producing 100% of the power your engine has to get you on the podium each and every time. Odenthal Racing Products provide the best motor mounts in the karting market today. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience, providing products with unmatched quality and value for the karting market. Our newest product is the Pro Series mount for two-cycle engines, available in 0, 5, and 8-degree angles, providing a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a medium with fins underneath to help dissipate heat off the engine. Our 4-cycle EZ set is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, ORP wedge clamps get the job done, featuring a number of updates to its design for a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro sizes. Head to OdenthalRacing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, made in the USA. If you're searching for a program to elevate you up the motorsports ladder, Crosslink Competition is your next step. Crosslink Competition provides arrive and drive programs that include driver coaching, data analysis, and engine rental programs for all major events in the 2020 season. Team Crosslink is scheduled to compete at the SCUSA Pro Tour, Rock Cup USA, and the United States Pro Kart Series events, as well as regional and local programs from their home base in Texas. Crosslink Competition is a full retail shop for the Xpree and OTK parts line. Many new and used packages are available right now through their Dallas headquarters. Drivers interested in making the jump from karting to cars, Crosslink provides a streamlined opportunity for you. Team Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports was the 2019 F4 United States Championship title winner, providing the perfect transition within the same operation. Drivers looking to compete with an elite-level karting program or to pick up gently used team equipment are asked to call 214-432-4413. Be sure to follow all the team's social media platforms at Team Crosslink. There's a new hot-button name in American safety equipment: Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. The ST5 KRT karting helmet is available for $599. Manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material, the KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for the younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision. The perfect youth helmet is available for $549. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva Rib Protector is unlike any on the market, with its form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these and many more products to keep you safe on the track. Stilo. Any competition, one helmet. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. Trackside support and arrive and drive programs at many of karting's biggest East Coast events, full product sales and service, and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer private one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. We're also your Midwest home for Tony Kart and IAMI, and we're your source for MG and Iveco tires in the region. Tony Kart quality cannot be beat, so call us today to put you in a new chassis for your next event. In 2020, we'll be racing and providing Arrive and Drive programs for the full Superkarts USA Pro Tour and the Great Lakes Pro Kart Challenge, the WK's Kart Week in Daytona, and exciting events like the USAC Battle at the Brickyard and the Rock Island Grand Prix. From Arrive and Drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude. Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. Looking for that extra edge? Comet Racing Engines is your answer. The engine service program from Comet Kart Sales has been winning from coast to coast at all levels and different forms of the sport. Lead engine builders Mark Harrison and Gary Lawson have decades of karting experience, providing racers the power to reach the top step of the podium. Comet Racing Engines continually perform track and dyno tests to provide their customers with the cutting edge in engine performance. Comet specializes in Yamaha KT100, IAME Swift, IAME X30, IAME Leopard, and Rock engines. Trackside and customer support are the cornerstones of the Comet Racing Engines business, ensuring each and every customer receives personal attention and the help they need to achieve the best results. Engine rentals are available at all the events that Comet attends in 2018, including WKA, SCUSA, USPKS, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. Contact the Comet team today at cometkartsales.com or by calling 317-462-3413. If you're looking to step up your engine program, send it to Comet Racing Engines. From the trusted name in truck tires comes the Cooper Discoverer AT3 family of tires. The Discoverer AT3 was developed with adaptive traction technology for better handling on any surface with maximum grip in all seasons. The Discoverer AT3 was built with durable tread technology for all-season traction and extreme durability when hauling. And the Discoverer AT3 was made for confidence when hauling extreme loads and is available in larger sizes. These tires are designed with the reliability and durability you need to find adventure beyond the pavement and are backed by a Cooper mileage warranty of up to 65,000 miles. Learn more about the Discoverer AT3 family of tires at coopertire.com. Go with the Coopers. Now back to the Superkarts USA Winter Series, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida, here on the EKN Radio Network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series Round 1 here from AMR Homestead-Miami Motorplex, presented by MG Tires. Again, we had a red flag for an incident on the exit of turn number 1. The driver involved, the number 753 of George Fagali, being taken, I believe, to the local hospital to make sure everything is fine. Of course, the driver's hopping back behind the wheel right now as we get set to restart. Again, we'll do what we can to give you an update before the end of the day, if possible, on the condition of George. As I said, he was rolling around a bit on the ground, so that's at the very least some good news. They obviously decided there was something that they wanted to look for, and anytime, especially with our junior drivers, we always take extra precautions, and they elected to transport, and we'll let you know exactly how things are. Drivers are spooling things back up. We're getting ready to go. 12 laps down, 10 laps remaining. We do have enough sunlight, obviously, to work with here to be able to approach this and get back out as opposed to calling this a race. We did get past the halfway point, but I believe they have elected, with the time that we do have still with the sun, to be able to keep racing. Only 2 more events still to go after this, an X30 Master and X30 Senior. So it'll be a single file restart as we get things back underway. Noah Baker will be the leader. Kai Sorensen second, Aiden Ingrata in third. Get ready to go for the restart here. Aaron Likens jumping in, and we're doing it. Green, back at it. Noah Baker with the lead, as we said, coming through. They'll work their way down to turn 2 for the first time. X30 Junior drivers coming through 3 over to 4. Into the inner loop. Again, single file restart with 10 laps remaining in the main event for X30 Junior. Driver spinning coming out of turn number 6 over to 7. That was just a quick loop, like something might have snapped on the cart, lost a wheel potentially. That driver is done. Give you the update top 10 when they come back around. I also got an update here on the driver from Tom Kutcher from Superkarts USA. He was there. We'll give you a quick update on that. It's good news. Across the line, Kai Sorensen making a bid for the lead, but it'll be an over-under for Noah Baker. He's going to try to get some help from Aiden Ingrata. Yeah, indeed, he's going to hold the spot. Ingrata's coming through, and so is Fletcher and Bocuse, I think. Yeah. So Sorensen made a bid for the lead. Not the lead. Ends up P5 at the end of, 3 more corners. 5 going into turn number 4. So Kai Sorensen's got to dial things back in again. A lot of action happening. There's another move a little further back as Bocuse will go to the inside of Fletcher. So I had a chance to chat with Tom Kutcher briefly about the incident that happened over in turn number 1. The driver is in very good spirits. Nothing that they can see is broken at all, but they decided to transport just to be very, very cautious on this particular deal. There was a bit of a scratch on the helmet, as we all know. No grass really to flip on. When you flip here, you're going to be on the pavement. So just for full precautions, they took our driver to the local hospital to make sure everything's fine. So that's obviously a good news, and we'll give you a full update when we can. Back on the racetrack, 8 laps remaining. Noah Baker into the lead. We said Kai Sorensen got shuffled back a little bit. He has worked his way back to P4. Daniel Perez up 20 spots into the 7th position. Fletcher up 10. Paul Bocuse up 28 positions, as I said. And, of course, this red flag stacked everybody back up again. Paul Bocuse, who started back in 31st position with a shot at potentially going for a race win. Aiden Ingrata is going to go to the lead as he's able to make the move to the inside of Noah Baker in 1. So move Aiden Ingrata back to P1. Aiden on the, I believe, Tony kart for Speed Concepts Racing. So the Speed Concepts drivers run first and second. That's Ingrata and Paul Bocuse, P1 and P2. Driver who went out potentially was Parker DeLong. I talked about a driver going out over in turn 6. I think that was indeed Parker DeLong in the number 729. Six laps remaining. X30 Masters drivers are up next. 2 more races to cap off the day. Kai Sorensen trying to fight his way back to P2. Remember, took a bid for the lead a couple of laps ago. Then kind of got shuffled on the outside of turn number 1. And they were either turn number 2 and then continued to turn 3 and over to turn 4. Ended up coming out of the effort with a spot P5. Has slowly and methodically scrapped his way back forward. And now finds himself back to second. Going to lose a spot, though, here as Bocuse is going to go back by. So Paul Bocuse back by to take over second. This has allowed Aiden Ingrata to pull away. He's got a solid advantage. It's got to be about a full second now for Ingrata out front with just 5 to go. stacking up behind that second and third. Oh, driver off. One driver has gone off the racetrack from that front group. I want to say it might be Fletcher. That might have been Fletcher off the racetrack as he battled in the like that second, third, fourth, fifth group. Trying to figure out, he's trying to go to work on the engine right now. Not sure what it was, but that driver out. We'll give you the update when they come back around here. Ingrata the leader, Bocuse. Indeed, Fletcher following down the order. It is Jeremy Fletcher. Another driver, a couple drivers making some big moves forward. Daniel Perez up 19th spot. Messej Gladys, I got to figure out how to pronounce that name. Messej Gladys up 18 positions from 28th to 10th. Jorge Ortiz up 11 from 22nd into the 11th spot. Ivana Richards started 30th. She's 17th. So a 13 position improvement for Ivana Richards as well. Ingrata, though, with this 1.1 second lead. Sorensen's gone to P2. They've got to try to reel him. They got to work together, let's put it that way, if they want to reel in Ingrata, because with 3 laps to go, he's got a pretty solid advantage here now. But it seems to me like the mindset may be that these guys are going to battle it out for the final positions on the podium. It's Sorensen, Bocuse, and Noah Baker. A second back to Max Garcia, who, remember, got shuffled all the way backwards to 9th after the incident with Fletcher over in turn number 8. He's been able to work his way back up into 5th. So the red flag and the reset helping Garcia. 2 laps to go this time by. It's a 1.1 second lead last time for Ingrata. What is it now? It is down to 0.9. 9/10 of a second for Ingrata and Sorensen. Sorensen turned his fast lap of 48.767, but is it too little too late? You got to think it is. Ingrata's got such a great advantage right now with 2 to go. Sorensen was able to gain maybe 0.2 of a second, but it's literally almost a full second. Ingrata's got to put the laps down to grab this victory. Big one for Aiden Ingrata and Speed Concepts Racing. Coming out of the final couple of corners. White flag presented here at start-finish. 1 lap remaining for Ingrata. Sorensen getting some help, another 1/10 of a second quicker, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to be fighting it out now on this final circuit. This is what's going to give it to Ingrata, because they're going to fight out for second place. You know that Bocuse is going to try to pull the trigger. His teammates out front, he wants a 1-2. Oh, thinking about the inside of turn number 5 and 6. Baker's getting a bit anxious as well. Sorensen still with the spot, looking over the shoulder, trying to run that blocking line down into turn number 9 to make sure he doesn't lose the inside. Baker going to work on Bocuse as well. He doesn't get the job done. Sorensen's got the position. No one's going to challenge the race leader, though. What a run here to start off the Winter Series in X30 Junior. The winner, Aiden Ingrata, in the number 755, a 1.2 second win over Kai Sorensen. Paul Bocuse from 31st up into third, 28 positions for Bocuse. Noah Baker in the 4th spot, Max Garcia in 5th, Michael Costello 6th, Jakob Kolar 7th, Leonardo Hassan in 8th, Daniel Perez 9th, and Messej Gladys? Messej? I got to get that right. Messej Gladys. Somebody from that team find me later to make sure I pronounce it correctly. Messej Gladys up 18 spots, like Perez, into the 10th position. Ingrata, though, good run. Started P5, a big victory, 1.2 seconds. Sorensen and Bocuse will join him on the podium. So there you go. 2 more races still to come. X30 Master up next here on the EKN Radio Network. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. If you're ready to take your racing to the next level, come join us at Team FMS. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry with over 50 years of combined karting experience, and we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. We've been supplying racers with start-to-finish support at race events for many years, from providing a helping hand on a weekday test outing or at a club event, to full arrive and drive packages at the highest level of karting competition. Our championship-winning Merlin chassis have won at all levels and in all age groups. The Merlin Cadet 950 is the perfect fit for our mini and micro drivers. The Merlin MR29 is the championship pedigree for our junior pilots, and the Merlin LM30 provides our senior and masters drivers with the potential to reach the top step of any podium. Be part of Merlin Nation today. For the 2020 season, Team FMS will be attending the Superkarts USA Winter Series, Superkarts USA Pro Tour, the United States Pro Kart Series, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Every winter, young drivers take the leap up to the next class. Whether it's micro to mini, mini to junior, or the big jump from junior into the senior ranks, it's tougher competition. If your son or daughter are moving up a class in 2020, give them exactly what they need to be ready. Professional coaching from the most respected teacher in the sport. With over 30 years of karting experience, Alan Rudolph and his staff at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy specialize in training young racers and accelerating their skills so that they're ready for the next challenge. Don't just invest in equipment, invest in your driver. Bring them to the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at Speed Sports Racing Park in Houston and invest in their skill development. Get them ready to take on that next on-track challenge, better prepared than ever. Get ready for 2020 by calling the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy at 866-607-7223. Head to speedsportsracingpark.com to learn more. Looking for that extra edge? Comet Racing Engines is your answer. The engine service program from Comet Kart Sales has been winning from coast to coast at all levels and different forms of the sport. Lead engine builders Mark Harrison and Gary Lawson have decades of karting experience, providing racers the power to reach the top step of the podium. Comet Racing Engines continually perform track and dyno tests to provide their customers with the cutting edge in engine performance. Comet specializes in Yamaha KT100, IAME Swift, IAME X30, IAME Leopard, and Rock engines. Trackside and customer support are the cornerstones of the Comet Racing Engines business, ensuring each and every customer receives personal attention and the help they need to achieve the best results. Engine rentals are available at all the events that Comet attends in 2018, including WKA, SCUSA, USPKS, and the Route 66 Sprint Series. Contact the Comet team today at cometkartsales.com or by calling 317-462-3413. If you're looking to step up your engine program, send it to Comet Racing Engines. Now back to the Superkarts USA Winter Series, live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida, here on the EKN Radio Network. Welcome back to live coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series here on the EKN Radio Network. Green flag being displayed here at Start Finish. We're underway with the X30 Masters category, brought to you by Orsalon Racing, and a strong start for Renato Jader-David, defending Winter Series X30 Masters champion. Scored all 4 wins last year, and he is out to about a 4 or 5 kart length lead to get things underway through the inner loop, and everybody rolling. We got 4 drivers kind of leading out front, and a tremendous 4-driver battle a little bit further back. They're, in fact, 2x2 going through the hairpin at turn 8. And in fact, 1 driver all the way off the racetrack. Oh, man. Looks like one of them potentially with a bent tie rod or something coming off the track already. So really battling it out in the opening circuit. They were dicing each other 2 by 2 coming through the turn 8 hairpin. And contact sets one driver out of the race already. Not sure which driver that was. We'll see as they fall down the order. I'll tell you who was that. It looks like Michael Oriema potentially out already on the opening circuit. You got to hate to see that happen. Renato Jader David, William Isaias, Luis Cordero, and Glauber Granero, the drivers out front as the lead 4. Granero falling back just a little bit. It's David, Isaias, and Cordero. Cordero in the 528, Isaias in the 527, and Renato Jader David in the 525. Expect to see Jader David be able to pull away, but the two behind him, all they needed to do, as we said, was dial that in just a little bit. In fact, they also need to work together, which looks like they're doing right now. Isaias and Cordero, they have to work together and push each other here. They can't battle if they're going to try to at all stay with him. They got to get to him, try to get by him, and see if they can't put him back in P3 a bit, because Jader David just super tough. Glauber Granero by himself now in the 4th spot. 5th and 6th looks like it's a good battle right now between Wilmer Valentin and Dan Breitenstein. And then running in 7th now is Diego Rodriguez. X30 Senior will cap off the day, and those drivers currently sitting on the grid, or at least getting pushed up to the grid here momentarily. We are, still quite a ways away from the start of that race. Good job there for Breitenstein, making a move by Wilmer Valentin for P5, able to get to the inside, coming through turn number 7. Haven't seen many passes there. Breitenstein, though, getting the move done as he tucked it to the inside. We saw Breitenstein here last year in the Masters Margay Ignite category. He's on a Burrell Art with Racer Racing. He'll work his way to P5. I'll tell you, Isaias and Cordero not letting Jader David pull away at all yet. Literally, it's still 2, 3, 4 kart lengths back. They got to work together here, though. Push each other down every straightaway. You start, and there it is. Cordero making a move by Isaias, and you're racing for second. They simply couldn't do that. They needed to work with each other, and now Jader David looks over his shoulder, and that half a second advantage is almost a full second now. That's just the place you're making a pass. In turn 8, that's a pass where you're giving up everybody else in front of you, at least for a time. Cordero now, yep, it's 9/10 of a second, the lead. And there, you just can't do that with Renato Jader David. He just turned purple, went 49.156, and you just gave him 0.3 of a second. You got to work together the entire race, battle it out over the last 5. No need to fight at the very start. So that settles in where we are. Glauber Granero by himself in the 4th spot, 8 seconds ahead of Dan Breitenstein, who's now a full second ahead of Diego Rodriguez. Granero, 49.548, his best lap here on lap 5, as did Dan Breitenstein, as did Jader David. Of course, he was purple, about 9/10 quicker than Breitenstein and about 4/10 faster than Granero. Cordero goes purple this time by. We'll see if he can't prove me wrong and potentially reel him back in, but I got to think that Jader David will just settle back in here. His last lap time just a 10th off his best, 49.156 to a 49.259, or 249 even, so not even a full 10th. Cordero's going to have to bang out a bunch of purple laps to close back up. 0.7 of a second between first and second. Yeah, another purple lap for Renato. 49.023. 0.8 of a second the gap. Junior David not able to pull away aggressively from Cordero as Luis continues to put good lap times down. In fact, a 48.896, 6.5 of a second. Isaiah's not that far back either. He was actually quicker than Junior David last time by. If you're searching for a program to elevate you up the motorsports ladder, cross. Yeah, the gap I expected to grow, really not working that much right now. It's surprising, and I think it's probably surprised Renato as well as he looks over his shoulder coming out of turn number 8. And, hey, he says, you know what? These guys are still on top of me here. I'm not pulling away at all. 0.6 of a second still the gap for Luis Cordero. Crossed halfway flags this time by. And again, another purple lap for Cordero. David, 48.921. He does his best lap as well. Cordero does a 48.885 to go purple. So really matching each other's pace right now. And I had said from the pre-final, I said both Cordero and Isaiah needed to turn up the wick if they wanted to challenge Junior David. And they have done exactly that. Both drivers have turned very good lap times. In fact, as I said, Cordero with the fastest lap right now, 48.885. Renato Junior David with a 48.921, and Isaiah's a 48.977. He's only a half a tenth off. So both those drivers have found some more speed. Still those 0.6 of a second, almost 0.7, the gap between first and second, as the lap time's so consistent. Isaiah's actually the quickest of the three there, but he's still 1.5 seconds back from David. Past the halfway point as well, just 10 laps remaining in X30 Master. Again, brought to you by Orsalon Racing. We're not done yet with the battle further back as well between Dan Breitenstein and Diego Rodriguez. Both those drivers turning 50-second flat laps. Again, about a second off the pace in terms of the drivers up front, but they are very evenly matched. And it's almost exactly the same gap between Jader David and Cordero as it is between Breitenstein in 5th and Rodriguez in 6th. Valentin running in 7th, 1.4 back from those two drivers. David, though, holding on to the spot. Keeping that gap right around 0.6 of a second. All three drivers turning 49 flats last time by. Still almost 0.7 of a second. David a bit quicker on that last lap. 14 laps down, 8 to go. Again, the X30 Senior drivers will be up next. Drivers will be ready to roll. We lost a bit of time with the red flag, but of course, good to get the update from Tom Kutcher that the driver was in very good spirits from the X30 Junior incident and won, and nothing broken. Just want to make sure they take all the precautions, make sure everything's fine. Oh, there's a battle right there now. As I believe Rodriguez able to get by Breitenstein. That's for 5th. Cordero just went purple again, 48.819. He's got it down to 0.4 of a second. Luis Cordero closing up here, the number 528. The PK Sports driver going to work, trying to close up on David. I said he needed to turn up the wick, and he's done it. Luis Cordero, 0.4 back. He's got a bunch of purple laps. Was almost 0.2 quicker last time by. Call it 6 laps to go. 6 remaining, and Cordero up on the wheel. Again quicker than David. Renato Jader David won all 4 races last year in the SCUSA Winter Series. Number of different guys stepped up to challenge. All right, now he's got probably one of the biggest challenge we've seen over the final couple of circuits here. As Cordero, and very calm in the seat as well. You can see that David looking over his shoulder, trying to find out where he is, hopping, coming out of the corners a bit, trying to get that thing to roll, and Cordero very close. Still 5 laps remaining. David a bit quicker this time. It's just back and forth. Still 0.4 of a second. It's about 5 or 6 kart lengths as they come out of 2, 3, and now into the inner loop, tucking to the right-hand turn 4. Sun starting to work its way to the horizon a little bit, right in the drivers' faces as they come out of turn 3 to turn 4. Good scrap as well between Breitenstein and Gonzalez, Rodriguez, Diego Rodriguez. I believe Breitenstein getting back by. That's that fight for 5th. Dan Breitenstein in the 506, Diego Rodriguez in the 526. Just a good one-on-one battle. Big lap there for Renato as he gets back into the 48s. Cordero falls back to a 49 to it. Again, it's a 0.6 of a second gap. He closed up quite a bit, but has fallen back again. Simply can't lose that kind of momentum. But this is a long race. You think about the Masters drivers banging out 28 laps here, or 22 laps, and you can't make a mistake. Isaias has fallen back to the point where it's a 2-driver battle. He's 2.4 seconds behind Cordero. So this is just Renato versus Luis. crew up on the fence, pushing him to find a little more. He did. 0.2 faster. And Renato looks over his shoulder at a 1. I think he probably looked down and realized he didn't get quite everything out of it. 3 to go. This one's going to come down to the final couple laps to see if Cadero's got anything held back, because he's really got to dig in. He needs a couple of monster laps here. Was able to go about 0.2 quicker than David last time. He needs to do it again. He needs those 0.2. He's got to get to within 2 or 3 here. Where is he? Back to 6 again. He just doesn't have the consistency. He'll turn a 48.9 and then back it up with a 49.2. It's 0.6 of a second again. And it's not like David's doing anything crazy. He's running 49 flats, essentially. Down to a 9, up to a 1. Cordero just doesn't quite have that consistency back to 0.6 of a second. You just can't make a mistake when you're trying to go against the Super Nationals race winner, the defending champion. Renato Jadro David has won so many races. And it's just like I said, we said before many times throughout the day, one of the best Masters drivers in the world. Cordero showing well, that's for sure. Got to keep his head down. White flag flying this time by Cordero. No, it's 0.8 of a second now. 48.9 again for David and a 49.1 for Cordero. Lost 2 more tenths of a second. I'll put it this way. Renato Jadro David was challenged like he probably didn't think he was going to get challenged. We had talked about the fact that he kind of dominated the pre-final. I said that both Cordero and Isaias needed to find more pace. Well, man, Cordero definitely did, because he turned things up. Fastest lap on lap 15, a 48.819, but you have to have the consistency, because over these last 5 laps, Renato Jadro David did not make a mistake. In fact, he showed everything he's got. Coming out of the final corner after 22 laps of competition, the winner in X30 Master, Renato Jadro David with another 49 flat. 48.9 for Cordero on the final circuit. Great run for him nonetheless. P2. He'll be back to challenge tomorrow. William Isaias had a good speed as well. Got down to a 48.9. He's got the pace, just needs consistency. He's P3. Glauber Granero in the 4th spot. And capping off this fight, this race-long fight for P5, Dan Breitenstein, I believe, is going to come out into the front straightaway and be able to get P5. Good run for Dan. Diego ends up in the 6th spot. Wilmer Valentin Jr. out early. That caps things off. That was an interesting one. That's one of the ones where you just watch the splits the entire time, because just to see who's going to be fastest, who's going to be able to potentially have that momentum going forward. And there really wasn't any forward or backward momentum for Renato Jadro David. Just banging out 49 flats, maybe at 48.9, maybe a 49.1, but everything was right there, and that's what gives you the victory. It's 0.7 of a second at the line for David over Cordero and Isaias. One more race to come to cap off the day. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's probably going to be the best one we see all day long. Up next, X30 Senior. You're listening to turn-by-turn coverage of the Superkarts USA Winter Series live from the Cooper Tire Broadcast Center at AMR Motorplex, presented by MG Tires in Homestead, Florida. This weekend's broadcast is brought to you by Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, and Cooper Tires. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. Trackside support and arrive and drive programs at many of karting's biggest East Coast events, full product sales and service, and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer private one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. We're also your Midwest home for Tony Kart and IAME, and we're your source for MG and Iveco tires in the region. Tony Kart quality cannot be beat. So call us today to put you in a new chassis for your next event. In 2020, we'll be racing and providing arrive and drive programs for the full Superkarts USA Pro Tour and the Great Lakes Pro Kart Challenge, the WK's Kart Week in Daytona, and exciting events like the USAC Battle at the Brickyard and the Rock Island Grand Prix. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience. Coming back early on this one because it's the final race of the day. It is going to be the X30 Seniors. Alessandro De Tullio starting on the pole alongside Arias Duke Medji, and it'll be Nick Ramirez and Aaron Benoit on row 2. Santiago Tracini alongside Hannah Greenmeyer on row 3. Alex Stanfield and Sebastian Montoya row 4. Mateus Ramirez and Hayden Jones on row 5. Row 6, Max Opolsky and Ryan Norberg. Not sure what happened to Norberg to go back there. Maybe a pushback. Field set. Outside gets a good run. Green, green, green. And Duke Medjian pinching down in turn 1. Talk about some chaos. Everybody getting through cleanly. 2, 3 wide coming through turn number 1, and they're rolling out for the first time. A little bit of defensive moves out of 3 over to 4, ducking into the inner loop for the first time. Duke Medjian goes P1 on the Kart Republic. Some aggressive moves early as the driver's settling in here now. It's like one driver a little further back, not a lot of action, so one driver had some trouble. We'll pick up who that is when they come back around. I'll give you the top 10 when they come off over the line here, and then we'll find out which driver it was that ended up falling to the tail of the field. There's Duke Medjian across the line. Aaron Benoit up into second. Sebastian Montoya goes third. Greenmeyer fourth. Nick Ramirez in fifth. Thomas Nepvu in sixth spot. Seventh is Santiago Tracini. 8th, Alessandro De Tullio. Bad start for De Tullio from pole back to 8th. Ryan Norberg up to 9th and Hayden Jones in 10th. And it was Frederick Lund that had the issue early on to be able to come across the line there. Otherwise, all 40 drivers finishing up the first lap. Duke Medjian your leader. A 2-driver breakaway as well. To be like everybody able to get through cleanly. The individual battle starting to settle in for a 22-lapper. Duke Medjian and Benoit pulling away to a 1.2-second lead. They got a good gap early. Sebastian Montoya leads the chase group that includes Greenmeyer, Ramirez, and Nepvu. Thomas Nepvu, the young Canadian, and he'll be moving to the Road to Indy this year, running with Cape Motorsports in the USF 2000 program. So Thomas Nepvu, a young driver, former Super Nationals race winner, I believe in the Mini Swift category a number of years ago. And it'll be interesting to see what will be able to do in USF 2000 this year. He's a very aggressive young driver, a ton of talent, and we know how much speed he has running with PSL karting on that Burrell Art machine. So Nepvu currently running in the 6th position. Norberg's been able to work his way already up to 7th already. And, oh, there we go. Contact over in turn number 9, the second hairpin. At least 3 drivers caught up in that one. Let me scroll down to the tail and see who's dropping, because a bunch of drivers involved over there in turn number 9 as they come across the line. Riley Can, Tyler McIntyre, Aiden Fox, and Santiago Fernandez involved as well. So Can, Fernandez, Fox, and McIntyre all involved over in turn number 9, heading into that the second hairpin. It shakes things up from mid-pack. A lot of those drivers likely, I think, were inside the top 20. There is a big gap midway through, and I want to say that's probably where it was. Let's have a look when they come by. I'll try to pick that big gap up and see who it is. Right there. So essentially top 14. Yeah, then 3.2 seconds back to Kai Palomino in the 13th spot. Max Opolsky 14th, Louis Pagano 15th. So top 14 drivers have jetted away, and then there's that big gap. Likely the cushion kind of happening in there. Your top 14 in that lead kind of group, if you will. Duke Medjian the leader. Benoit second. Montoya third. Greenmeyer fourth. Fifth is Ramirez. Sixth is Norberg. Just went purple. Fast lap for Norberg. He's to P6. That guy's on the move right now. A 47.830. His fast lap. Literally a half a second faster than Dugmedjian. Nepvu 7th, DeTulio 8th, Trissini 9th, Jones 10th, Conteka 11th, Bryson Morrison 12th, and Kai Palomino, as I said, on the other side. So top 12 it was, I believe, up front. So two-driver breakaway in Dugmedjian and Benoit, but they're starting to get aggressive as I think, Norberg, I think, has worked his way. Yeah, they're right there. There's three, I want to say, no, it's two Rollisons and one Nash kart together there. That is Greenmeyer 4th, Ramirez 5th, and Norberg 6th. I say those two liveries with the way they kind of shine a bit, blend together a bit for me. I'm also a light bit colorblind, so I have a little issue with the pink on the Rollison karts. But yeah, they've been able to rock and roll forward here now. Montoya 3rd, Greenmeyer 4th, Norberg able to get by Ramirez, and he brought Thomas Nepvu with him as well. So moved Nepvu up another spot, but Norberg, who started 12th, or maybe, I think he started 12th indeed. He's up to 5th. Nepvu started 14th. He's into 6th. They're rolling right now. So Greenmeyer's going to get a little help from Norberg potentially, unless he decides to go by and go forward. He has been unbelievably quick. They're both going to start putting some pressure now here on Sebastian Montoya, who runs P3. But again, early in the run, right? 6 laps in, 16 to go. Dugmedjian trying to stretch that lead. It's about 0.7 of a second now. Another purple lap for Norberg. This guy is rolling. Got the horsepower, got the speed, the pace to be able to help Greenmeyer potentially get by Sebastian Montoya. So let's pick up on that. No, Norberg's going to go to the inside of Greenmeyer in turn 5. Book it. He's through. He'll go to P4. Into the inner loop. And Norberg not to be denied. This is the 4th-time champion we've seen before. Reigning champion, of course, in this category here of the Winter Series as well. Didn't get a victory last year, but won the championship on the strength of the consistency through 4 races. He is all over Montoya. I'm going to say a pass coming in turn number 2. Let's call that now. Nah, that might not be close enough. We'll see. Coming out of turn 1, yeah, he's still a couple of lengths back. I thought he was going to be closer coming through 9, 10, and 11. Norberg now up to about a length behind Montoya. Sebastian turned his fast lap of 47.854. There's another move to the inside. Side by side on the exit. Book it. And Norberg's like tapping his helmet saying, listen, Sebastian, stay with me. We can do this. He knows how fast he is. And he knows he can't be battling with Montoya. He's already pulled away a bit coming out of turn at number 9, the hairpin. Was able to gap Montoya by about a length. I'll tell you, Norberg's on fire right now. This thing is rolling. The RPG Cosmic with that AVP power is absolutely on fire right now here for Ryan Norberg. He goes to P3, still has the fast lap of the race. Montoya's going to have to deal with Hannah Greenmeyer next because she's getting ready to line him up. Thomas Nepvu right there as well. Actually, Nepvu's been passed by, I believe, DeTulio. Alessandro DeTulio started poles, worked his way back down to the 6th spot, I believe. No, he's in 7th, I think. We got a lot of back and forth movement. Greenmeyer's trying to get by. DeTulio's trying to get by. Montoya's holding them back. I think DeTulio potentially by Greenmeyer there. That's some aggressive racing for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah, here they are coming across the line. Montoya, DeTulio, Greenmeyer, Nepvu, and Ramirez. 5 drivers, 4th to 8th. Norberg, I think, is already by Benoit. Indeed, Norberg to P2. Ryan Norberg goes to 2nd. That thing is on fire right now. Just coming to the halfway point. And there's contact. DeTulio going after it with Montoya. Wow, DeTulio essentially ran Montoya off the road coming out of 7. I was thinking about that pass in 7. So hard to make, but if you're going to grab the apex, you might as well drive right to the outside of the racetrack, and that's what he did. He essentially got the apex of 7 and then drove right across to the exit of the racetrack and pinched Montoya so he'd have nowhere to go. Whew. That was some aggressive racing for DeTulio. Started pole, went back to 8th. You wonder why he's aggressive right now. Wants to get back to the front where he thinks he needs to be. But this one's going to come down to Norberg versus Deukmejian. I'll tell you that right now. Deukmejian tied with Luca Mars as the eKartingNews.com #1 ranked tag driver in the country right now. Those drivers tying for points at the end of the 2020 season. He's trying to get a big race win here at the Winter Series to start off the season. He's got, right now, about an 8/10 lead over Norberg, except for Norberg just went purple. 2/10 quicker, and there's 10 laps to go. A long time for Ryan Norberg. That kart's still good here on lap number 12. The key is, will it get better? A couple drivers together at the tail of the field here right now. Let's scroll down and tell you who's falling down the order. Contact coming through 7. Waiting to see who's falling down to the bottom. Might be Kai Palomino. No, he's across the line. Santiago Fernandez came across. It's Lucas Facuri. He's one of the drivers, and Juan Vega. Those two drivers not completing lap number 11. Final race of the day. Opening round of the Superkarts USA Winter Series. So good for Superkarts USA to get back at the racetrack. Finished up the Pro Kart Challenge last year. Of course, the Pro Tour wrapping up in August. Not able to have the Super Nationals just, rolling the dice trying to get an event at Las Vegas. Just not the call they elected to make. So it's been a while since Scoos has been able to get back out here. And over 200 entries logged for this Winter Series. Obviously a big positive for the organization that has been front and center as the national powerhouse in terms of their Pro Tour and a number of regional programs over the years. Again, we'll go into the 12th annual Pro Tour. That's not something I've seen in 25 years of doing this. It's always 4 or 5 years and something happens. This has been longevity and stability for the sport and the SCUSA Pro Tour. Looking forward to getting to NOLA Motorsports Park for the Winter Nationals this year. Norberg has run it down to 0.3 of a second, maybe less than that, and it's going to be about 2 or 3 kart lengths now with 8 laps to go as he is reeling in the Kart Republic of Deukmejian. Aaron Benoit, in the number 329 in the Tony kart. Running in that third spot, DeTulio 4th, Ramirez 5th, Montoya 6th, Bryson Morris now up to 7th. 8th is Diego Conteca, 9th Hayden Jones, 10th Max Opolsky. Hannah Greenemeyer, all the way down into 13th. Not sure what happened to Hannah, but she got shuffled down the order. We are wrapping up the day. 7 laps to go. Norberg is now the leader. Ryan Norberg has taken over the lead. And X30 Senior did not win a race in the Winter Series in 2020. Back last January and February, but now leads here over Deukmejian. The key is Canari has turned it back up now that he's got a rabbit in front of him. Norberg, Deukmejian, Benoit, DeTulio, and Ramirez top 5. As we cap off the day. It's been a long one. Started at 9 o'clock this morning. Little half-hour break in the middle, but we've been rocking for over 7 hours. 6 laps to go. Norberg has not been able to stretch away yet from Deukmejian. He is right there with him, so we could still have ourselves a battle. How good is your kart over the last handful of laps, right? That's the key here now. Yeah, Deukmejian's right with him. Norberg, Deukmejian, Benoit, DeTulio, and Ramirez. But, man, this fight up front, give it up for our Arias Deukmejian and the Kart Republic, not giving up at all. Norberg came calling and actually reeled him in pretty aggressively, but has not been able to pull away. He's got about maybe 2.5 kart lengths out of 3. Yeah, Dugmedjian right with them. Let's be real, two of the best tag drivers in the country right now. Ryan Norberg, 4-time SCUSA champion, reigning SCUSA Winter Series champion. Arias Dugmedjian, multi-time SCUSA Pro Tour race winner, ex-junior champion, and also number one driver in the country with eKartingNews.com and our driver ranking program. So this is the best running up front here now. Rawlson Performance Group, Cosmic battling up that Kart Republic. A little tighter line through 5 and 6 for Dugmedjian, trying something a little different. DeTulio's closed up as well on Aaron Benoit. That will be the battle for the final position on the podium. He'll go to the inside in turn 9. Book it. DeTulio through to take over third. Can Benoit come back and take it from him? Not in turn number 10. 3 laps to go. Ready to cap it off. Final laps of the opening day of competition here in Homestead. We got great racing all the way through the pack as well. Number of drivers banging out their good laps here on lap 19. Kunteka in 8th, Jones in 9th, Ramirez 10th, Opalski in 11th, Stanfield in 12th, and Greenmeyer in 13th, all with their fastest laps here on lap number 19. Dugmedjian still with Norberg. They're going to see the white flag next time by, and literally they're not even separated by 2 kart lengths. Dugmedjian running the wider line because, of course, Norberg trying to run that tighter run, trying to see if he can hold him back. Dugmedjian not done. Little surprised that Norberg hasn't been able to pull away considering the ease at which he caught him up over those 5 laps and the way he powered his way through the circuit. But Dugmedjian, maybe he worked the tires a little much because here comes the white flag and Dugmedjian's going to have a shot at him here. Final circuit, Dugmedjian's on him. Out of turn number 1. Big run down the straightaway. Dugmedjian is close, into 2. Norberg cleanly escapes it there. Through 3 now and into the inner loop. No defensive line coming into the corner at all for Norberg. Into the inner loop of 5 and 6. The double apex left-hander. Dugmedjian's right there. It'll be the turn number 8 move. Yeah, indeed, right to the inside. Over-under coming Dugmedjian. Dugmedjian right with them. Norberg having to stay to the inside. Dugmedjian to the outside. It's going to be the over-under coming out of the corner. And again, a pinch for Norberg. Side by side into turn number 9. Dugmedjian to the outside. Contact between the 2 drivers into turn 10. Dugmedjian tried to turn into 10. The car rotated a bit. They'll work their way back around for the last couple of corners. Double checker. This one's going to the video. Norberg with the win. Oh, more contact. Drivers flipping all over the place. Sideways. We've got cameramen diving out of the way as DeTulio battling it out with, I believe, Dugmedjian. They literally wrecked coming across the line. One of our flagman had to get out of the way. DeTulio's cart flipping him over. The flagman's up and walking away. The camera may be worse for wear. Dugmedjian not looking real good. He's standing right there. We got corner workers watching this. We got video watching this. Tom Kutcher was right there. This may not end very well for DeTulio. I don't know who's going to get the blame on this. All I heard was the squawking of the tires. They've got Dugmedjian sitting still in his seat. That, I think, ended up being some pretty aggressive contact. As they came across the line, yeah, Dugmedjian's having some trouble. Like he's nursing something right now. So Dugmedjian, who was going for the lead, did the over-under on Norberg over in turn number 9. Looks like he may have had the position coming out of turn 9, but tried to turn in to turn number 10 and got contact, I think, with the front of Norberg. The car rotated a little bit there. And, of course, Norberg able to get through cleanly and came to the checkered flag. We're going to go to the video for sure on that. But then Dugmedjian trying to keep things going. And as they coming across the line, how close was Dugmedjian to Detulio? Detulio actually beat him to the line by 0.03 of a second. So some kind of contact, of course, coming across the line there. But the resulting contact afterwards was pretty aggressive. Detulio spinning to the inside of the track. As I said, one of the media members with the camera had to take evasive maneuvers and might have got tapped a bit. Dugmedjian ends up almost to the other side of turn number 1. A lot of contact here to cap off the event of the day. That was an exciting finish for sure. Dugmedjian walking around like he may not be too bad right now, but kind of still holding his arm in his hand. The med truck has worked its way over to see Arias. This is not the way you want to see something end like this. But nonetheless, I know a couple of the corner workers already talking to Detulio. I got to think that's not going to play well for Detulio here in terms of what contact came down. We'll have a look at the video, of course, but wow, what a way to finish off the day. Norberg ends up with the win. This is all this, of course, unofficial with so much contact in the final lap. Norberg with the victory. Aaron Benoit comes home for second. Nick Ramirez able to get third. Detulio fourth across the line. Dugmedjian fifth. Montoya in sixth spot. Morris in seventh. Jones eighth. Conteka ninth. And Matias Ramirez rounding out the top 10. Wow, we've got keep an eye to the EKN social media channels. I'll give you an update when we're done. We're obviously going to wrap up the broadcast here right now. We've got some tech to do before we get to the podiums. We've got some video, I'm sure, to look over. You can be guaranteed there's going to be an hour of protest because we have to wait for an hour for the final protest to come. Lots of stuff still to happen. It looks to me like Dugmedjian up on the back of the truck or the golf cart now, so he's all right, but we're definitely not done here in terms of making some calls. But, wow, crazy finish. Ryan Norberg ends up with the win as he's able to somehow fend off Dugmedjian in the final circuit. Whether or not it will all finish up that way, I do not know. But I'll tell you, we're done from here at Homestead for the day. We're getting back here tomorrow for those of you listening live here on the EKN Radio Network. 9 o'clock start time Eastern. We'll get rolling with qualifying. We'll start the show. Pre-final set to go at 10:25 and main events at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do thank you for tuning in because that was a wild one for sure. Big thank you, of course, to our broadcast partners, Leading Edge Motorsports, Acceleration Kart Racing, and the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy. Thank you to Cooper Tires. And first and foremost, thank you to Tom Kutcher and the Kutcher family and everybody from Superkarts USA for once again having eKartingNews.com trackside for all the events of the Winter Series and the Pro Tour here in 2021 to be able to provide the coverage we have since the very beginning of the Pro Tour in 2020. Again, thank you so much, folks. We appreciate you joining us here on eKartingNews.com. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us from the Superkarts USA Winter Series in Homestead, Florida. Our EKN Trackside Live coverage, audio production, and social media was managed by Rob Howden. Big thank you to our broadcast partners this weekend, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy, Acceleration Kart Racing, Leading Edge Motorsports, and Team Cooper Tire. This EKN live broadcast is copyrighted by eKartingNews.com and the Howden Media Group. This is Rob Howden, and thank you for tuning in this weekend and throughout the entire 2021 season.